Hello, and welcome back to Trails from Zero, number 22, I believe. Day 2 of Chapter 4 begins. Last time it ended with there being a raid on the Heiyue, store front, maybe? Overnight. And that's the first major point of investigation that will need to be handled. But first, there's just, I don't know, stuff that's suggested to check out. Dad's been really strict today. But I know he loves me, so I'll listen to him. Weird. Have you heard about the incident over in the Harbor District? I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on my daughter for the time being. So, actually, I need to check in on this person again, because they're always here. Huh? My issue of the Crossbell Times. It's nowhere to be found. I must have left it at home before heading out. This character is so silly. But there's apparently 6 people to talk to at this stage, so I'm gonna go through talking to them really quick. Oh, up and at it early this morning, aren't we? Has something happened? If you need to discuss anything, feel free to take a seat. Well, actually, sir, we have reports that Heiyue Trading Company was raided by an unknown group of assailants. By Eidos, is that true? We're on our way to check it out now, actually. Everything we've heard points to Ravash being our purpose, though. An attack like that in the harbor. I can't say I understand what was going through their heads. Ravash, that is. I can comprehend wanting to attack their main competitor, but something about this sounds far too sloppy, as if it wasn't planned. We were actually thinking the same thing. Nothing about this suggests the beginning of a full-fledged war between the mafias. Either way, we need to be cautious. I have no doubt businesses are going to flock to the office once they hear the news. With luck, they'll tell me something useful. Thank you, sir. Honestly, I don't think we've ever stopped by without owing you another favor. I don't know how to read. I'm just bad at reading for some reason today. Talk to kid. Not kid. Talk to the aunt character. Oh, Tio. Yes, what is it? You've got a weary look on your face, so I thought you might be exhausted. Is it my imagination? Are you okay? I think it is simple fatigue from investigating the Moon Temple yesterday. I may have strained myself a bit too much. Tio Tot's been saving her bacon with her extra strong perception skills. Yeah, she's helped us more times than I can count. Try not to push yourself too hard, okay? Yes, I understand. I mean, it's obviously not just that, but that won't be, whatever it is, it won't be revealed for a while. Apparently East Street, Residential, and Back Alley. Residential is Jonah, because he counts as residential, which makes sense, because he's just right here. Apparently if you talk before or after the raid thing, checking out Heiyue, it changes. Jonah is stuffing his face with pizza first thing in the morning. Munch, crunch, slurp. Ugh, who slurps pizza? So, how's Heiyue looking? Pretty nasty, I bet. Well, we were just about to go check it out. Come on, man. Now's not the time to be chilling here. Go! My customers don't like waiting for info, you know? Pretty funny. So you're just planning to circulate the details after we work for them, eh? Jonah, think very carefully about your response. Well, I just wanted to earn back a little Mira. Those information fees are killer. Come on, I'm just looking after my livelihood. This boy hasn't been disciplined once in his life, has he? I kind of like how the music fades in and out when you transition zones. Like, it's not completely just cut off. It's pretty close going from there to here, but it at least doesn't just hard cut. Apparently there's a reaction. Oh. Security seems pretty tight today. Yeah. And they're a little more pissed off than I'd imagined. Well, they did just raid Heiue. But even considering that, they seem more on edge than I'd expect. I sense a great tension in the force. I sense a great deal of tension throughout the alley. I would advise against approaching them. With that, now it's East Street for 2 people and then to the harbor to make progress on the actual story. Talking to people in the guild. So, the SSS crew is back again, If you're here, that must mean you've heard the news, I assume? Yeah, I assume that means you already know too. Who do you think I am, honey? Of course I know. I know everything. And they're significantly closer, and if there were gunshots, they would have probably heard. We contacted everyone in the branch already, so they're gathered on the 2nd floor. Gotta prepare ourselves for the possibility of a war between 2 organizations. But wow, I'm always impressed with just how quickly the guild works. And like usual, the CPD is way late to the game. It all comes down to a difference in procedure. We've got our ways of handling an emergency, as I'm sure you do too. As such, I believe it would be best for you to address this as you normally would. Right. And then talk to these guys. Oh, you guys came. You heard about the big news about Heiue already? Yeah, we've already started conducting our investigation. It seems all of the bracers have gathered here too. That's a rare sight. I see the divine blade of wind downstairs. He is truly a sight to behold. It should be I saw, but yeah. They contacted all of us on our enigmas this morning. That's why we all made our way here as soon as we could. Damn, you guys really are just too quick. You sure? Maybe it's you guys I hate these. Maybe it's you guys who are too slow. Are you secretly a bunch of slackers, maybe? But either way, Ravash sure left one heck of a mess for us to clean up. You said it, sister. Sure, there might not be that many people in that area at night, but civilians still could have gotten caught up in their mess. Man, just thinking about it gets me... Thinking about it got me steamed. I'm so ready to rearrange some mafia face. Interesting. Guess we do quick save. I don't think it's going to be important to save there, but... Those are some pretty large holes. This place is a mess. It certainly looks like the aftermath of a raid. Definitely. There are traces of heavy weaponry scattered all over. At least they didn't resort to explosives. The whole place would be a crater if they did. Oh, I see you guys are on the scene too. Hey friends, how's the situation looking? We rushed out here as soon as we heard the news. I don't know much yet. All I've heard is that shots were fired in the middle of the night. Dudley and the others are in the middle of conducting an investigation. It sounds like the First Division beat us to the punch. They are always quick to jump on cases like this. We'd like to ask the members of Heiyue some questions. Do you mind letting us inside? I suppose I could. I was only told to not let civilians pass through here. You'll have to make up an excuse to Dudley for me, though. Of course. Thanks for helping us out. Oh, look at this. Okay, come on. Why would there be bullets there? It's this wide. Maybe they were shooting through the door and it hit there, but like... some of these angles for bullets don't actually make sense. Now that's... oh, that's not a door, that's just a blocker. That's a fun way to be like, hey, you can only go one way. No bullets in the top floor. Cow, if you'll excuse me, then. We'd like to help you, but unless you're willing to give us more details, there's not much we can do. You'll have to forgive me. After all, it was late into the night. I haven't the foggiest idea of who the assailants may be, or why they targeted our humble company. Even so, it appears you were able to mount an efficient defense. The first and second floors are devastated, yet this room remains spotless. How in the world were you able to fend off assailants armed with heavy machine guns? I'll admit, it was tricky. However, the assailants managed to escape our grasp, I'm afraid. Many of our men were sent to St. Ursula. My, oh my, what a disaster. But none of them died? You have my condolences. Now, if you'll excuse us. You four. What's the special support section doing here? Why, good morning. Why, good morning, Detective Bannings. I see the rest of you have come along as well. Pardon our interruption, Cow. It's probably not pronounced cow. I know you're busy with the aftermath of the raid, but could I borrow a minute of your time? Okay, that's not the right way to handle this, right? Like, your fellow detective peoples are right in front of you and you just ignore them to talk to the person they're in the middle of talking to? Anything for you, my friend. If you'll excuse us then, Dudley. I appreciate you having stopped by. Have a nice day. Goodbye. That feels... okay, no. This irritates me to no end, but I'm leaving this snake to you. He's at least like... okay. He's willing to mess with you a bit more. But he's at least willing to concede that. That's nice. Try to get what you can out of him. Ah, yes sir. See, like, that's kind of the best interaction with him so far, because he's like, he's not talking to me, you might as well try. It's cool. It has been quite some time, my friends. I hear you all had quite the adventure on the final day of the anniversary festival. I'm assuming Yin told you all about it. As you know, the special support section doesn't follow conventional investigative protocol. And with that in mind, how about you go ahead and tell us your true intentions? Oh? Lloyd? There's no point in wasting our time with his usual song and dance. Not only that, we have a lot of ground to cover with Cow. I figured I'd get straight to the point. Wow now, that's one hell of a gutsy move. Lloyd can be quite audacious when he wants to be. Haha. And then more enthusiastic laughter. Excellent, Mr. Bannings. Simply superb. I knew I was right to put my hopes in you. Very well. I'm not particularly fond of trivial exchanges, anyway. If your questions are within the realm of my knowledge, I will provide you the answers you seek. Thank you, Cow. There were 3 things I wanted to ask you about. Tread any. Is it safe to assume Ravash is behind last night's raid? Or is there any chance the attack was carried out by a third party? Heh. You're going to ask about that too. Very well. Lao, please explain for them. Sir. The assailants may have been masked to conceal their identities, but there's no doubt it was Ravash's men. Not only were their weapons identical, but so was their combat style. That's something that can't be mimicked so easily. I see. That makes sense. In that case, something's still rubbing me the wrong way. I hear you Heiyue guys are all pretty damn good martial artists. Heck, I bet your man Lao here could hand out beatings left and right. You flatter me. I'm sure Ravash doesn't have a shortage of combat pros, but none of them could match up with you guys one-on-one. So then, how'd you get trashed so hard by a handful of their thugs? Was the Killing Bear leading the charge or something? No, I don't believe the esteemed general manager of sales was present. Neither were his hand-picked ex-Jaeger friends. We believe Ravash's regular combat personnel to be behind the attack. If that's the case, then how? Though their techniques were simple, their speed and power were beyond comprehension. They were able to brandish those heavy machine guns single-handedly. Their defenses were easily crushed by their unnatural strength. They overtook the first 2 floors with ease. No foolin'. It wasn't only limited to their power and speed either. They had inhuman endurance as well. And thanks to that, I had to put into practice a few dangerous techniques. Dangerous techniques? Like what? I wasn't aware you were trained in combat yourself, Kao. I mean, why would you not assume that? I'm nothing but an amateur compared to Master Yin. I'm not looking to beat around the bush, Kao. How do you plan to respond to their raid? Heh, that's what you want to know. Is it? If you know what manner of organization Heiyue is, then there shouldn't be any need to ask such a question. So you're planning to retaliate then? My, how presumptuous! To think we would ever do such a thing. You misunderstand. I'm speaking only in terms of crisis management. At the end of the day, what matters most to our company is profit. In a situation where our profits are threatened, it is my sworn duty to crush our antagonizers through the appropriate methods. I fail to see what's so strange about that. What an annoyingly shrewd man. Is requesting assistance from Heiyue's main office one of these appropriate methods? Ah, reinforcements from Heiyue's main office, huh? You really aren't beating around the bush, are you? Well, to answer your question, I have no such plans at the moment. After all, my reputation is on the line here. However, there's no guarantee the main office will respect my wishes. They may intervene, regardless. I suppose I should be able to keep them out of things for a little while, at the very least. Either way, we are sorely lacking in information about Ravash's current improvements. As such, we don't have an effective countermeasure. For now, I've assigned someone to keep a close eye on their movements. That someone being an extremely reliable collaborator of ours. You requested Yin's assistance? I guess he would be the best option for an undercover mission like this. I think Kia. That's totally out of place, but this isn't directly related to the case in question. But I figured I'd ask while I'm here. Do you really not know anything about Kia? Ah, but Lloyd, that's... Kia, you said? Is that meant to be a person's name? It sounds more like a code word to me, and that's the clear future thing, because it's going to be a code name or something. Ah, pardon me. I see this as a serious matter. All I know is that Kia is the name of the little girl you took into custody after the Schwartz auction. And, well, that, and the fact that our dear collaborator offered you a small piece of advice while you were there. The exhibits for the second half of the auction are all stored in the room over there. According to information that was sent to Heiyue, there's a bomb, so to speak, among those items. I recommend you confirm it for yourselves. A large leather trunk will be exhibited at the end of the auction. Inside the trunk is a bomb which will only serve to jeopardize Ravash's position. This information was sent to us through a very complicated route. We were unable to determine the identity of the informant. However, in some ways, that only made it more credible. We want to be certain, however, so we asked our friend to check on it. Even in my wildest dreams, I never expected this purported bomb to end up being a small girl. Damn. Looks like he's gonna feign ignorance till the very end. This actually feels... like, the way it's written, it feels like he's telling the truth, sort of. Let's assume you're telling the truth. Do you have an inkling as to who that informant might have been? Logically speaking, information this sensitive and incriminating would point to the actions of a Ravash defector. The only thing I can say for certain is that whoever was behind it, they are an incredibly skilled individual. At any rate, this is as far as our knowledge regarding Kia goes. Though I suppose it's up to you whether you believe me or not. Understood. Thanks for answering us honestly. Now then, does this conclude your questioning? Yes, for the moment. I appreciate your cooperation. Do you mind if I give the department an outline of what we discussed? Do as you like, my friend. By the way, Detective Bannings. Yes? I'll be honest with you. This raid was far beyond what I thought Ravash was capable of. I was under the impression that I was fully cognizant of their forces, connections, and strategies. Further, given the scrutiny they currently find themselves under, I never expected them to pull off such a brazen move. They've truly surpassed all my expectations. I'm almost a little impressed. I must say, I am unbelievably excited for what's to come. I cannot recall an instance in the last few years where a situation didn't play out exactly as I had expected. This is a rare opportunity for me to wield the full force of my power and intellect to my heart's desire. The mere thought gives me an indescribable joy. Hey, watch yourself. You're truly unbelievable. Do not think for 1 second that I will allow the police to ruin my fun. Although, I'm willing to grant a unique opportunity to your department. If you can somehow resolve the situation before Heiyue begins its retaliation, then we'll have no need to do so. I'll be eagerly awaiting your next move. I like this character, he's a lot of fun. Things have gotten really serious. Have really gotten serious. Yes. They gave us plenty of useful information to work with, but I can't believe Kao would so blatantly imply a full-scale war with Ravash. If things keep heating up like this, then we're gonna have a real mess on our hands. We're screwed if they decide to have a firefight in the middle of town. Additionally, we have to consider the possibility that Heiyue may call for reinforcements. There are more than a few dark clouds already gathering on the horizon. Even so, it sounds like we still have a bit of time. judging by what Kao said. There are a lot of suspicious details about this raid Ravache pulled off. So we'll need to find out as much as we can about it before Heiyue mobilizes. I agree. Shall we visit each of the districts and question the citizens? No. I think it'd be better to go straight to the source. Let's pay Ravache a visit. Bold. Sorry, I got distracted by something. You're kidding, right? We may have gone there once before, but still. That was before the incident at the auction. Wouldn't it be too reckless to go there now? It's true. They may have struck a deal with us, but it only relates to Kia's case. However, there's something I'm concerned about. What might that be? Garcia's movements. We've had enough encounters with him to know what kind of person he is. He never seemed the type to be reckless, and I got the feeling he had a strong command over his subordinates. You're absolutely right. He was a well-known Jaeger commander. Way too disciplined to pull any crazy stunts. In fact, it's pretty hard to imagine him ordering his men to launch an assault on Heiyue like that. Did Garcia actually order the raid, or did his subordinates act on their own? Definitely something we need to find out. Right. And the fastest way to do that is to start asking questions around Ravache's base. Do you guys want to head there now? I suppose that's our best option. It should be relatively low risk if we're simply asking around the area. Let's go have ourselves a little stakeout. Away we go. Over to... I'm gonna run because it's more interesting. Oh, I don't actually know the... Yeah, this is the best path. Okay. So, is this gonna be the same... No, it isn't. They do look confused. Just like I thought. There are more guards posted here than usual. They're looking way more pissed off than I was expecting, too. Impatient, excited, vigilant, anxious. I'm detecting a wide range of emotions from them. There's no mistaking it. They must be on high alert for any retaliation from Heiyue. This isn't going to be easy. From now on, for now, ascertaining Garcia's movements should be... Should be what? Garcia Rossi. Or Roshi? No, it's definitely Rossi, not Roshi. Damn, how'd that monster manage to sneak up on us? He was just walking down the street. Come on. It's you guys. You have the audacity to show your faces around here after all the shit you've put us through? I won't make any excuses. Our deal with you only concerns Kia, and Kia alone. Then we're understood. If you use our deal as an excuse to come waltzing into our territory, I'm going to beat the ever-loving hell out of you. Interesting choice of words. Yeesh, this guy's one dangerous old man. I know why you lot are snooping around here. However, you won't be getting a single word out of me on that matter. If you understand, then get lost. Damn. Like... Please, just tell me one thing. If, hypothetically, you were to attack an armed stronghold, would you attack head-on from the front, leaving everything to brute strength? An honest Jaeger like myself would never stoop to such a poor strategy. I like the honest Jaeger and then not being head-on. It's a fun comment about the Jaeger profession. I'd wait until there was an opening and make a precise strike. Maximum results, minimum damage. Wouldn't you do the same, son of the war god? Randy, don't you ever call me that again. But yeah, that's how Jaegers operate. Is that so? Thank you. I appreciate the answer. Heh, you're a strange kid. But anyway, you'd better not come in here unprepared. You hear me? I promise you'll be torn to shreds. Something sure... I can't speak. Something sure seemed off with him. He looked tense, but unusually haggard. I was thinking the same thing. His words were very aggressive, but I felt like they didn't have the same force behind them. I could sense a great deal of fatigue. Just like you, Tio. What do you suppose could have happened to him? Damn, he's in such a sorry state. It ain't like the guy at all. Heh. Bet you guys would love to know why that is, huh? Grace? You just love popping up at the most random times, don't ya? What can I say? My reporter's intuition guides me to the juiciest of scoops. Anyway, what do you say we do the old give and take? I'll be anxiously awaiting your arrival at the jazz bar. What should we do, Lloyd? For now, let's just hear what she has to say. We should keep our guard up. We'll need to be careful not to let anything slip around her. Duly noted. I kind of want to see if she has anything new to sell here. I'm not going to talk to her. Nothing new. Still the same collection. Kind of can't wait until there's... I assume there's going to be another new pair. Though I don't know what it would be for, so there might not be. Wait, didn't I got distracted. Did I buy an Evade 3 at some point? Or did I get an Evade 3 at some point? Yeah, I did. That's why I only had 55 and not 60 evasion. Did I get new action 3 or did I already equip it? Yep. Move 3 is really bad. I should find a different wind-based one to equip. But for now, that's fine. Oh, well now. There you are. Alright, let me cut to the chase. Is there anything you're willing to share about the Heiyue raid? I'm sure Kao showered you with all sorts of delightful details over at his office. Quick as ever. But how do you even know we visited Heiyue? I mean, their offices are right beside, so... Well, I found out about the incident this morning and was heading over to ask Kao some questions when I saw Dudley barge in. As I was sitting there on the sidelines, trying to feel the situation out, who should show up but you guys? Shortly afterward, I see Dudley leaving with his typical scowl, and then a bit later, you all come out looking as worried as I've ever seen you. After seeing all that, how do you expect me to not think you learned something huge? I see. I guess that makes sense. Still, Grace, I think you know better than anyone that we can't casually disclose information about an open investigation. Well, of course I know that, silly. That's why I called this little chat a give and take. After all, aren't you dying for some details on Garcia Rossi? Do you mean you're a real pro at dangling the bait right under our noses, aren't ya? As a little cherry on top, I might have some juicy info about that so-called auction, too. The way I hear it, Ravash messed up so bad there, the speaker isn't really interested in speaking with them anymore. I'm sure you're just dying to know how those two things are related. Right? Right? Okay, I'll bite. However, everything about Cal is strictly off the record. Got it? I can't stress that enough, Grace. I see. So the situation is more dire than I thought. Yeah, unfortunately, it is. At the very least, both groups seem to be trying not to involve the public. For now. Wow. No matter which way you cut it, this raid really just came out of nowhere. It might have happened in the dead of night, but I still can't believe they target somewhere right next to the news building. Not to mention, it was right down the street from the IBC. Pretty ballsy move, even for Ravash. Yes, that's true. If things had gotten even worse, it could have made people lose trust in Crossbelt as Samiria's trade capital, shaking the whole continent's economy. Right? That's what I'm saying. If this is true, it could mean that that info I got was legit after all. What information would that be? Are you willing to share it now? Okay. Guess it's my turn now. This whole fiasco originated from inside the Mafia. Lately, I've been hearing that rumors that Garcia Rossi's control over his goons has been, well, lacking. Is that even possible? Yeah, I'm having a hard time buying it myself. I can't imagine any of those rank-and-file mobsters defying that walking mountain. Wow, you can choose to believe it or not. I'm just saying, it might be possible that the incident in the downtown district and the grab for mining rights weren't on Garcia's orders. From the look of it, it was some goons on the lower rungs looking to make a name for themselves. If that's what the rookies were after, that would explain why they're so willing to step out of line to get it. But wait just a second. Are you saying that the raid last night was carried out by low-level members of the Mafia? Well, given the scale of the attack, it's hard to think that, but if it's true, it'd definitely help explain why Garcia was acting the way he was earlier. Maybe. Come to think of it, he didn't have his usual entourage with him. Does that mean he's lost his grip over Ravash? There's an internal split? But what is the Don doing during all of this? According to what I've been able to gather, Marconi is desperately trying to make up for his giant blunder at the auction. Naturally, he's buttering up Speaker Hartman, who was less than pleased at Michelin. He's even trying to lure more influential figures of Crossbell into his fold. Influential figures? Who exactly? Diet members from the Republican faction. I've heard he's met with the CGF commander, too. Really? Is he trying to suppress Heiyue's political influence in Crossbell? And I wonder if meeting with the CGF commander has anything to do with Ravash's weapon smuggling. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Gotta remember, that moron of a commander is also one of Speaker Hartman's cronies. I bet Ravash is trying to win back the Speaker's favor through him. Yep, my thoughts exactly. Man, whenever I have these nice little chats with you guys, things just seem to fall into place. This turned out to be quite a fruitful little info swap. To be honest, it's been helpful for us as well. But now that we've sifted through all the details, I feel like there's something we're missing. Something we're missing? Oh. And what would that be? Looking over what we know, there seems to be logical reasons behind each of their actions. But the actions themselves are almost random, as though they're not all coming from the same organization. I always got the feeling that Ravash's operations had a certain level of professionalism to them, the kind you'd expect from organized crime. But I don't sense that at all this time around. Oh, I see what you mean. Now that you mention it, I'm inclined to agree. Ravash's structure has typically existed as an efficient system designed to take advantage of the large amount of Mira flowing through Crossbell. For them to suddenly deviate so greatly from that system is highly irregular. So, in other words, there's some element to this case that threw Ravash's entire system out of whack. Is that what you're saying? Right. It's just a gut feeling, though. Kao's description made it sound like these raiders who attacked Heiyue possessed unnatural amounts of strength, too. It's possible that could have something to do with Garcia's strange attitude. Wow. I should have expected this from you, Lloyd. You're one smart cookie, you know that? Hey, if this police thing doesn't work out for you, how about joining me at the Crossbell Times? We can aim for the Pulitzer Prize together. I'll have to pass. And I'd appreciate if you didn't make me worry about my employment any more than I already do. Remind me again, what's this Pulitzer Prize thing she's talking about? It's a prestigious international award given to the most outstanding journalist of the year. Excuse me for a second. Yes, this is Lloyd Bannings of the Special Support Section. I managed to get through. It's me, Bixen, over from Mines. Oh, the mayor? How can I help you? Is there some kind of problem with Gantz? Well, you see, I'm in Crossbell City at the moment. The casino where Gantz goes. He started acting strangely, so I decided to call you. Strangely? What exactly do you mean? He's been engaged in a poker match with another customer for quite some time. Things are getting very heated. It may only be a matter of time before violence breaks out. Could you come over quickly and help sort this out? Understood, sir. Barker Casino, right? We're close by, so we'll be there shortly. Okay, I'm counting on you. That was the mayor of Mines? Sounded like he's at the casino. Yeah, apparently. Gantz might be getting into some trouble there. Seriously? Have his victories gained some ill will from his opponents? Between Gantz's ego and his crazy luck, I could definitely see that happening. Well, we'd better hurry on over and assess the situation. Alright, off to Barca we go! I mean, she can follow us. I don't think legally we can stop her. What? Did I say something wrong? Well, Grace, it's just that there's no point in telling her not to come. Let's just go to the casino. Because, yeah, they legally can't be like, hey, don't follow us. Like, she can just walk behind them. Of course, I'm applying... Oh, shoot, wrong direction. I thought that was the correct direction. It's over here. Oh, you came. Praise be to Eidos. Hurry. I think a fight is about to break out. Where's Gantz right now? I mean, you should be able to see him, right? Ah, yes. Because, yeah, he's right in front. Oh, he's actually in the back. Interesting. He's in the middle of a private match in the back room. We don't have time to waste. Gantz could blow at any second, and then get absolutely mauled. Huh? But I thought Gantz was the one provoking his opponent. Oh, it's Lecter. Eat this, punk. He's just cheating. Ah, but it's not a royal straight flush. Try to beat this hand. You can't. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Wasn't expecting you to pull out a hand that strong on our last round. Hey, this is my true talent. You tried one too many tricks using those tricky hand spheres, but that's coming to an end. You've lost now, so show me your hand already. I didn't lose. What? What are you talking about? I never said anything about losing. Are you kidding me? The only way you'd be able to beat me is with a royal flush. There's no way you could have. And that's where you're wrong, pal. What? Wait. Is it Joker? What kind of poker are they playing? 5 of a kind. And with aces, no less. I can't believe what I've seen today. It depends on the game whether a royal flush or a 5 of a kind is the highest possible hand. But either way, it's clear this hand of mine takes that straight flush of yours and flushes it straight down the drain. Oh, that's a good word. Like, straight flush, flush straight. Very good. I enjoy that. That was well translated. You... Don't screw with me, you damn cheat. Drake, you're his accomplice, aren't you? Well, screw you, too. I assure you I'm nothing of the sort. I swear upon Eidos' name. And during my carefree observation of the match, I saw nothing that suggests Mr. Arundel was cheating. Can it? How the hell am I supposed to buy that crap? I've got luck and intuition on my side. I'm supposed to be unstoppable. There's no way I can lose to this jackass. Sir, please calm yourself. He's right. You gotta relax, man. Poker's just a game of luck, after all. All this means, pal, is that your luck has run out. Oof, strong. Cough, cough, cough. I refuse to believe this crap. Gambling should be a piece of cake after using that stuff. That's where the music should shift. Gantz. Oh no. There's no way in hell I could lose. He should be in prison. No, let go of me. Let go of me, damn it. You have to calm down, Gantz. What's with this insane strength? Gantz, stop this madness. Well, if it isn't my favorite pals. How's it hanging? I don't really think this is the time, Lecter. How can one man be so suspicious? I'm almost impressed. Wow, this guy's quite the character. An acquaintance of yours? Sorta. Not like we know squat about him, though. Whoa, hold the phone. A 5 of a kind versus a straight flush? What the hell even happened here? It was a real nail-biter, Randy. I was on the verge of losing the shirt off my back. I can barely keep up with this. At least we were able to neutralize the threat before anyone was hurt. Let go of me. Let me go, damn it. Let me go. I can't lose. I can't lose. After further protest and shouting, Gantz became overwhelmingly exhausted and passed out. Due to his condition, the special support section decided to carry him to his hotel room. Oh, goddess. How could such a thing have happened? He may not be the hardest worker, but he was always a kind man. There's not a soul in Mines who dislikes him. Mayor Bixen, I don't know what to say. For a nice guy, he sure was pretty violent for a second there. Hell, I wasn't expecting it to take both me and Lloyd to hold him down. Yeah, couldn't believe how ridiculously strong he was. ... Listen guys, this is just an old reporter's intuition talking, but you think the guy could have been on some kind of drug? You know, the real serious kind? Pardon me? Drugs? Are you serious? Judging by their silence, I think Lloyd and Tio seem to agree with me. Agree is a strong word. I don't want to say anything without proof, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. That's preposterous. Gantz? On drugs? I refuse to believe it. This feels unrealistic, because my understanding is, at least, maybe not in Japan, but like, drug use is very common, supposedly, amongst construction workers in like the US and probably Canada and maybe parts of Europe. So like, I assume miners probably do drugs as well, but it is what it is. He's just an ordinary down-to-earth miner. There's no way he'd ever use such... Sorry, sir, but hasn't it been almost half a month since he arrived in Crossbell City? Keep in mind that he earned quite a bit of Mira during his stay, too. Can you say, for certain, that he wouldn't have taken advantage of that wealth? I won't stand for this slander. You mentioned that you're a Crossbell Times journalist, correct? Know that if you write some libel piece based on pure speculation, I will lead Mines and its people in protest. Whoa, cool your heels. I wasn't planning on writing an article on this anyway. Would you do us a favor, Mayor Bixen? I'd like to go through Gantz's personal belongings, if that's alright with you. See, I don't think that's how, you know, personal, like, privacy works. Just because he's the mayor doesn't give him the power to be like, yeah, go through this stuff, sure. You too? I don't intend to imply anything, sir. There are too many coincidences piling up here. His sudden violence, that inhuman strength, the complete change in personality. All of these aspects are eerily similar to past cases. And in Gantz's case, we also saw an absurd development in his gambling skills. Might be because he took some sort of stimulants to boost his perception or something. That'd explain that freakish intuition of his. If his perception was cranked up to inhuman levels, he'd have no trouble reading people. It is entirely possible. I can only speculate that if I were to gamble, I would have an unfair advantage over others as well. But is that different? Tio? Sorry, Tio-tot. You know I didn't mean it like that. And, I mean, she knows that, obviously. I'm aware. Do not worry. Mayor Bixen, I understand you wish to keep Gantz's reputation intact. However, please envision the scenario where he is, in fact, consuming drugs. If the situation were to remain unhandled, it would pose a threat to himself and others. That may be, but I could think of a bunch of possible side effects that might crop up. Like them starting to fight people. Same here. And that's exactly what we need to be scared of. Very well. I fear I may not have thought things through well enough. Go ahead, Lloyd. Thank you, sir. Lloyd carefully examined Gantz's pockets, making sure not to wake him in the process. This is what I was afraid of. Received blue pills. I would call those tablets as opposed to pills, but pills. But yeah, writing it after like people speaking, they wouldn't refer to them as tablets. So, Goddess, no. So he really had some after all. Pretty shade of blue. What the heck is it? ... We can't rule out the possibility that it's harmless medicine yet. Maybe he has some kind of chronic disease we don't know about. Did he ever mention anything like that, sir? Not that I'm aware of, no. I cannot say for sure though. I mean, he probably has chronic back pain, being a minor. Interesting. Would you mind if we hung on to these pills for now? Please do. But listen, I beg you, do not spread this around, for Gantz's sake. Of course, sir. We'll make sure to take his reputation into consideration. Also, could we leave him to you? Leave him with you? Yes, I'll take care of him. I'll try to speak with him once he wakes up. Thanks, we appreciate it. So now we have suspicions of an illegal drug circulating throughout Crossbell. Definitely didn't see that one coming. And it's being circulated by Ravache. It's their big trump card. Really? I would have thought the Mafia was big into the drug trade. The contrary, actually. Illegal drugs hardly ever show up in Crossbell. Drugs are messy business, you know. One misstep, and they'll spread to neighboring countries like the plague. I've heard the First Division monitors them closely, thanks to pressure from Erebonia and Calvard. So I guess Ravache is smart enough to read the room on that one. Oh, I had no idea. Yeah, they made sure to cover that back at the police academy. Still, something about these pills. I've never seen pills like this before. The color certainly is pretty, but... yeah, they're pretty, sure, but they're also suspicious as well. I mean, obviously they're suspicious. They're random, unmarked pills in a little plastic baggie. Of course they're suspicious. Tio? Do you recognize them? No, I'm sorry. I think it was just my imagination. More importantly, what do you plan to do with the pills, Lloyd? Good question. I'm thinking this case is too much for us to handle alone. For now, let's go talk with the chief. Yes, he may know what to do. While we're at it, we should give our report on the Heiyue raid. We've got mafias going to war with each other, and maybe some illegal drugs now, too? Ugh. I get the feeling that things are about to get pretty busy around here. You can bet on it. You know, it's only been about 4 months since we first met. But you guys have grown a lot since then. Really brings a tear to my eye. Grace. Where's all this coming from? Flattery won't get you any more information from us. No, I'm serious. I've got some pretty high hopes for you guys now. Almost as high as the ones I had for your brother, Lloyd. No, I thought we already knew about that. Speaking of Guy, I never got a straight answer out of you. Grace, did you know my brother? Oh yeah, back when I was still a newbie at the CNS, he helped me out more times than I can count. Sometimes I think that even though he's not with us anymore, and his case has gone cold, at least there was a team built at the CPD to carry on his will. What? What do you mean, Grace? Oops, Sergey might get angry at me if I say too much. Anyway, I've got an event to cover, so I'm going to have to head out. Oh, and I won't write any articles about the drug stuff, as tempting as it is. Bye-bye, everyone. Where does she get off dangling info like that in front of us and then just walking away? Another addition to the pile of things we have to think about. So it seems. Are you concerned about what she told us, Lloyd? Oh, well... Even if it does have to do with Guy, I don't really have time to think about it right now. The Heiyue raid, Ravash's current situation, and now these blue pills. We have a lot on our plate. For now, let's put aside what Grace told us, and ask the chief how we should proceed. Understood. Hopefully he has some ideas for us. Alrighty then, let's head on home. I mean, apparently, you can get additional detective points by talking to the 3 seemingly random people. Rixia, people at Ignis, and a young girl in the residential district. Like, it's wild. Hey, Plie, doesn't Nikolai seem a bit different lately? Oh, you noticed too? You noticed it too? I've been getting some weird vibes from him. It's as if he's a completely different person. Excuse me, is everything okay? Like, I'm just going off track. The fact that after that event there, it's suggesting that you should talk to literally every single character if you don't want to miss out on potential detective points is one issue I have with the idea of playing these without a guide. Like a non-spoiler guide. I'm not really spoiling much for me with the guide I'm following. But it's... if you wanted to try and get 100% of stuff in this game, or like even just 100% of detective points in this game, you would have to talk to every single character after every single interaction you have, and it would take 4 times as long. And I don't like that part of this. Excuse me, is everything okay? Oh, if it isn't the police officers. Nothing serious. We were just talking about Nikolai, one of the other performers. Right. Apparently, Nikolai's been engaging in some special training lately. It's paying off, too. His techniques and strength have improved considerably. The strange thing is, his personality seems to have changed as a result. Huh. So, what? The guy polishes up some moves, and suddenly he's a new man? That's not as far-fetched as you think. Reaching greater heights could give someone an entirely new sense of who they can be, to the point where they become unrecognizable overnight. That's true. I suppose anyone can change themselves, given the right motivation. I'm sure Nikolai must have had a life-changing experience like that. I mean, my guess is that each of these interactions that are listed are directly pulling from, like, these people have in some way something related to the drug. Or, I hope it's her dad's not doing the drug, that would be sketchy. Father, what's going on with you? What's wrong? It's nothing. It's just that, for the last little while, Father's been acting... Haha, you goddamn morons. What has happened to Father? Something about him definitely feels pretty off. What a bunch of morons. The price of those stocks friggin' tanked in 3 days. Oh, they seriously couldn't see that coming? The CNS business magazines plummeted down the damn drain. Ha 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 ha. But yeah. Father must be exhausted. Yeah, so this is like people who have connections to the drug, probably. Like, there was a reference to businesses coming back from the grave because of this magic drug. Is it Huey? Yeah, Slash and Huey. The hell does it matter with Dino? Oh, that's the kid out front, I think. Drop it, man. That one-on-one was all them. And Wald told us to quit bitching about it. You think I can ignore this? Something happened, guys? Yeah, you could say that. Dino, that idiot. Dino challenged one of our leaders, Jed, to a fight. It was totally insane, too. They kept trading blows until it was decided by an elbow to the jaw. He's just a newbie, yet he somehow managed to take down Jed? Impossible. I'll never forgive that bastard. Yeah, so this is like... Haha, that sure felt good. I never liked that jerk anyway. All he ever did was boss me around all the time. Well, not anymore. So yeah. These are all people who have been consuming the blue pill. Calling it a blue pill is kind of iffy. For obvious reasons. Sergey is here, or is he up a floor? He's here. You guys are back pretty late. Interrogating Heiyue really take you that long? No, actually. We may have just stumbled into another case that is actually the same case because it's going to be related. I'll give you the details along with what we found out about the Heiyue raid. Chief. Sorry. Was it too convoluted after all? No. That's not it. It's just... this series of events. I'm starting to think that it might all be connected. You do? Seriously? What makes you think that? I know a lot has gone down in the last day or two, but I want you to try to connect the dots. Especially you, Lloyd. We're really going to need those detective skills of yours here. Sure, leave it to me. Today we were able to discover roughly 3 pieces of evidence. The information we heard from Cal about the raid on Heiyue, the intel we exchanged with Grace about the current state of Ravache, and everything we learned about Gantz, the miner from Mines. So there has to be something that ties the 3 of things together, right? I think I'm starting to see what you're saying here. For now, let's sort through what we know. What element of the info regarding the raid on Heiyue can be tied to the others? Assailant's physical abilities? What element of the info regarding Ravache can be tied to the others? Haphazard chain. Which element of info regarding Gantz can be tied to the others? Blue pills. This has to be it. Related elements, physical abilities, chain of command, blue pills. You think these factors overlap? They're definitely suspicious, that's for sure. I think so, Ellie. If we take a closer look, we can see certain things linking the cases. The boosted strength displayed by the mafiosos who raided Heiyue. Gantz and his spontaneous gambling skills. They may seem independent of each other, but they both deal with the sudden enhancement of their abilities. Now, suppose we say that the connecting factor in all this are those blue pills. The mafia must have started involving themselves with these illegal drugs in some way. Not just to sell to the public either. Ravash's henchmen must be using the drugs themselves. Is that the general idea, Lloyd? Yeah, more or less. But in the end, it's still just another theory. However, that would certainly explain a lot. In that case, maybe the reason Garcia's authority over Ravash has started to wane is all thanks to their grunts taking this drug. Once they're all juiced up, they don't need to listen to him anymore. Things are starting to make a lot more sense. Nicely put, everyone. By the way, remember the rumors Ian told us about yesterday? Of course, the trader and that stockbroker. Could those two be under the pill's influence as well? Who can say? At this point, there's nothing more than pure speculation. However, things are beginning to come together, piece by piece. You feel the same way, don't you? Yes. But if I'm being honest, I don't think the special support section will be able to handle a case of this size. We might even need to call in the 1st Division for support, given that the incidents revolve around the distribution of illegal drugs. Funny you should say that, Lloyd. Your timing couldn't be better. Huh? Oh, I found you! What's wrong, Kia? Are you getting hungry? Nope, not yet. We have a visitor. He's a super grumpy old man. His forehead's all wrinkly. Grumpy? Pardon me. He's not even that old. Oh. Detective Dudley. You're late. Apologies, Sergei. Investigation meeting ran a bit long. If this is about the same thing we discussed earlier, do you mind if we go ahead and begin? Sounds good to me. Before we get started, I'll need you to fill them in too, though. I don't have time for your jokes, Sergei. This isn't something rookies should know about, and actually, I think the information they've found will end up being pretty useful to you in your investigation. In fact, involving them will save you some time in the long run. Are you out of your mind? Then again, I did leave the Heiyue investigation to the special support section. Maybe I can fill them in. Just... No, it's simply not... Chief, if this is a bad time, we can step out for now. That won't be necessary. They don't call Dudley the ace of the 1st Division for nothing, after all. I'm sure he realizes what he needs in a situation like this. Fine. Listen up. The information I'm about to disclose is strictly confidential, so the kid should probably leave the room. It doesn't leave this room. Otherwise, there will be consequences. Got it? Yeah, that won't be a problem. Kia should leave the room. Oh, is this a secret? I love secrets. Tell me too. Well... I'll make you a snack, Kia. Why don't you eat it with Zeit? It's weird to be like, hey, share this snack with a dog. The 1st Division is being pressured? Well, it's not quite as simple as that, Bannings. After the raid on Heiyue, we received orders to devote all our resources to quell any disputes between the mafias. Because of that, we had to enter an investigation on a mysterious drug we've been looking into recently. Really? The 1st Division was investigating the blue pills too? We only started looking into them a few days ago. Frankly, I'm surprised you even know about them at all. How exactly did the First Division find out about the drugs in the first place? We were tipped off about them by a long-time informant of ours. She's been a pretty reliable source, so we started gathering more info based on her tips. It has to be Grace, right? We weren't able to find anything more concrete than rumors and urban legends. We know Grace didn't know about the pills specifically. Oh, she could have technically known about the pills and been suspicious. I mean, a miracle pill that grants wishes and bestows happiness? It certainly sounds like fiction to me. However, it was apparent that something shady was going on, so we were compiling a list of citizens that seemed to be connected, and... What are those looks for? It's almost like you expected everything I just said. Seems like our little theories earlier were spot on. Show him, Lloyd. Yes, sir. Huh? Take a look at this, detective. What? Are these what I think they are? We found them on a certain individual during our investigation today. We were allowed to keep them on the condition that we protect their identity. Lloyd explained to Dudley in great detail. Damn it all. So it is real. And you're saying it's possible that Ravash is the distributor? Dudley, about the order to stop the drug investigation. Any idea who made the call? It had to have been someone high up. Our chief didn't agree with the decision, but he enforced it regardless. What a mess. Hold on a moment. Does that mean someone high on the CPD chain of command gave in to the Mafia's demands? Like, you know, the lead commander dude who's in talks with the Dawn? Unbelievable. Come on. How low can you go? The situation appears quite grave. I thought it had been established fairly early on that a few people high up in the CPD were on, like, Ravash's payroll. Like, the head commander I thought was established was like, yeah, he's being paid off. Hey, Dudley. It's clear that you came to me because you don't trust the top brass at HQ. So what is it you're planning to do? To be honest, there's nothing that us, in the First, can even do about the drug investigation now. If any of us were to take action, our bosses would do whatever they could to interfere. But, as a member of the police, I just can't let this go. I like that he's very clearly becoming more sympathetic. It's nice. Detective Dudley. Well, there's an easy solution for that. Leave the investigation to the Special Support Section. Lloyd, Ellie, Randy, Tio. Listen up, guys. From here on out, the SSS will be unofficially collaborating with the First Division. Since their hands are tied, you four will take over the drug investigation for them. Yes, sir. Understood. And in return, we'll get every last bit of intel the First Division has about Ravash. Sound fair? Sergey, what are you... Every bit of intel? You know there are some classified files that I just can't share, no matter what. Every last scrap. Take it or leave it, Dudley. I mean, that feels like a... Like, it's not a strong point of argument, because if Dudley knew the Special Support Section people properly, he would know that they would search this regardless. So, like, it's kind of... It's a bluff. You're stuck in a deadlock and you know it. We're going to keep doing what we want regardless. But you don't really have any options here. Damn. Fine. I accept your conditions. Glad we could come to an agreement. Well, well. So now we're the ones taking cases away from the First Division, huh? I can already feel a sense of superiority welling up inside of me. Glare. Yikes. I mean, it's kind of, you're just taunting him. Comment redacted. I suppose I really don't have any other options. Alright, I've turned the drug investigation over to you now. How do you actually plan to proceed? About that, we already have the drug itself in our hands. The next logical step is to figure out what exactly it's made of. Not a bad start. But how will you go about doing that? Based on what we know, we can assume this is an entirely new type of drug. It'll likely be too much for the forensic tools at HQ to handle. That, and there's a risk of being noticed by the higher-ups. Ah, that's a shame. But in that case, we might be able to ask the medical college for help. I think we know just the guy to talk to, huh, Lloyd? The medical college? You mean St. Ursula? Right. We know a doctor there who specializes in pharmaceutical research, actually. I've heard he's one of the best in his field, so there's a good chance he'll be able to figure out the drug's composition. Well, alright then. That might just be our best option, given the circumstances. Dudley, can we get you to compile the first Vision's intel and send the report to us by the end of the day? I want them to decide how to approach the investigation for themselves. Understood. I'll send it over as soon as I can. Well then, I should go. Thank you for your cooperation, Sergei. Likewise. Oh, and aren't you going to thank them, too? Ugh. Listen well, you four. If you do anything stupid, this entire situation might nosedive. Understand? Your task is looking into these drugs, and only that. Dealing with the mafias is the First Division's responsibility. Stay close to the ground, behave, and most importantly, don't get in our way. Sheesh. Is it really that hard for him to say? Thanks for doing my work for me? Perhaps under that tremendous scowl of his, he is simply shy at heart. Hehe, maybe so. Also, it seems he has a stronger sense of justice than I first thought. Yeah, I think we can trust him. Most of the First Division's just like him. Diligent as all hell, and driven by that same strong sense of justice. Though, by the same token, a lot of them are extremely by the book. Makes them inflexible and obstinate. Well, that face is weird. So, you going to head to St. Ursula right away? Yeah, that's the plan. Though, I'd like to take care of some support requests, too, if time permits. That's right. We didn't have the chance to go outside of the city all morning. Guess things are about to get busy. Probably best we just tackle things one at a time. Yeah, glad to see you guys are up for the challenge. Now, I know we're cooperating with the First Division, but don't get too worked up over that. Just do things as you usually do. Show me you're capable of cracking the mystery behind these drugs. Yes, sir. An hour and 20 minutes and still just talking. Search for an important person, Representative Campbell. Flowers. Graveyard. And is that it? So there's 2 quests here, and then there's a hidden side quest that I would never find, probably. I might find that. I probably wouldn't, though. Okay. So 2 real side quests and a hidden one. The hidden one will be done when I get there. Hello, Kia. Aw, guys. Do you have to leave again? Sorry, Kia. We've got something to take care of. We'll be back in the evening, okay? Want us to bring you back a souvenir? No, that's okay. All of you are coming home safe. It's the best gift I could get. Sparkles, Kia. My heart. Her smile has pierced my very soul. Haha. The grim atmosphere ran away at the first sight of her smile. Huh? Fun. Okay. I need to go to Campbell. Campbell is this guy? This is the house of Representative Campbell, who sent the request. We're searching for someone important, right? It sounds like the representative was freaking out. Hey, doesn't Mademoiselle's Gramps, live around these parts? You happen to know this Campbell guy? Well, about as much as fellow neighbors would know each other, which means not at all. Representative Campbell is an ambitious man. He's so driven by his passion for politics that he often brushes aside everything else. I see. That matches the way I had envisioned him in my head. Either way, he's requesting our assistance. Let's try asking about it if he's home. I mean, he should probably be at work, right? Interesting layout. I'm assuming... Ooh. Now that's a bedroom. I wonder which one's the representative. I assume it's this guy. I mean, either one would work, I assume. Unbelievable. What a foolish thing to do. We must find a way to retrieve her, Representative Campbell. Excuse me, gentlemen. We're here regarding the support request. Ah, you're the CPD's something or other section. What a relief. We were becoming so desperate that we'd be willing to scrape the bottom of the barrel for assistance. Just a moment. Are you Ellie, Mayor McDowell's granddaughter? Why have you come with them? It's been some time, Representative. As it stands, I'm currently employed by the CPD. I visit you as a member of the SSS today. Is that the case? So be it. I suppose the mayor is neutral. Nothing to be concerned about then. But Representative, the Imperial faction's cunning members rely on underhanded tactics. What if they catch wind of this incident? I'm guessing you're in a position that could cause some political strife, Mademoiselle. Speaking with Diet members is always such a pain. Excuse me, Representative Campbell. Could you tell us what happened? At least, what details you're able to share about the situation? It's just, you look troubled, so... I seem to recall the support request seeking assistance in searching for an important person. Yes, that's right. Well, you see, I've run into a bit of a snag. I suppose I have no choice but to explain the situation to you. But let me make one thing clear to you. This is a politically sensitive matter. The Republican faction has been placed into a difficult situation. This must remain strictly confidential. Understood. We'll promise to keep this under wraps. Not we promise. We will promise. We swear to remain silent about the investigation, Representative. Very well, then, listen up. A certain person affiliated with our faction has disappeared. Could you elaborate? Obviously. It so happens to be my very own daughter. She has run away from home, along with our maid. All that fuss, just to end up telling us his daughter ran away. By daughter, are you referring to Carla? We were classmates in Sunday school. Ah, really? Well, the representative and his daughter have never been on particularly good terms. Their relationship seems to be entirely comprised of petty arguments. However, the timing couldn't be worse. Our main supporter, Heiyue, was raided this morning. Dealing with the aftermath has been cumbersome. That foolish daughter of mine. I would normally leave her to her own devices during a hectic period like this. However, recent reports have shown the Mafia's spats are becoming more dangerous. It's far too dangerous to leave two girls wandering around on their own. Yeah, I'd be worried about your daughter's well-being if I were you, too. Not only that, but if this were to become publicized, the Imperial faction could use it as ammunition against me. You can't let your guard down during the Diet, so I'd prefer to avoid any scandals. And with that, I request you, the SSS, to discreetly apprehend and return my daughter to me. It all comes down to protecting his reputation then. Guess that's just how these bigwigs think. I've already assumed as much. Well, it's clear that you're concerned for her. There's a fair chance she might be in harm's way after all. It kind of ruins the storytelling when the characters turn around, face away from the person they're talking to, and then speak. Agreed. We understand the situation, sir. We accept your request to search for your daughter. Or that's just a weirdly written, yeah, you're concerned for her. We accept your request to search for your daughter. Oh, thank Eidos. Bring her back immediately. I can't promise we'll be able to do it quickly, but we'll locate your daughter and provide protection until we've safely brought her home. Very well. I suppose I'll rely on you for the time being. Proceed however you like. I believe his daughter left a note in her room. That note may prove useful to your investigation. Thank you for letting us know. We'll take a look at it then. Search for important person. Is it? No, bed. What? Where does he sleep? Like, if it's the bedroom here is her room, where's his room? Looks like she left her message in this notebook. Let's see what it says. I've had enough of you and your insistence on only doing as you please. So now I shall do as I please. Goodbye, Carla. P.S. I'm taking the maid with me. Knowing you, you'll surely go hungry with no one here to prepare your meals. Oh, where do we even begin? The dad's a real piece of work, but his daughter seems like trouble in her own way. Representative Campbell is the type to put his work ahead of his home life. And now that I think about it, Carla would often complain about her father in Sunday school. I wouldn't be surprised if a sudden falling out caused her to run away from home. However, the note fails to provide a clue of where we should begin the search. The only detail given was that she ran away from home by her own volition. Based on her note, I think it'd be fair of us to assume something. Suddenly ran away from home. She must have run away unexpectedly. As Ellie mentioned, a sudden falling out may have caused her to run away. She was pretty angry too, based on the note. I would consider that a reasonable deduction. I figure if she planned this whole thing out, the note would have been longer and filled with more resentment. How long do you think she ran away from home? I hope it hasn't been too long. That sentence was not correct. I hope it hasn't been too long. Our search will be much more difficult if she's gone far. Well, it's impossible for us to tell with the information we have at this time. Let's try to get some more information from the representative before we come to any conclusions. Well, I guess it's time to get out the shovels and start digging up some dirt. We should return here and go over the details once we've finished. This feels like they're treating her as if she's like an 8-year-old kid, but they've been established to be like 18 already, so because they're the same school age as what's her face, Ellie. Between the diet meeting and the Heiyue incident, this morning was absolutely exhausting. I have even more appointments in the afternoon, so I came to rest at home for a bit. When I did, I couldn't find my daughter or her maid anywhere. Just as I was beginning to think something was amiss, I found her note. Seems like she's the defiant type. I doubt he'd have any idea as to where she would go. Representative Campbell runs a strict household. For instance, He'll enforce small rules, like everybody having to eat breakfast together. It's actually quite obvious that his daughter despises such trivialities. I see. His suffocating nature could very well be the cause of their strained relationship. And despite that, she still adhered to his rule and joined him for breakfast. How am I privy to such knowledge? I ate breakfast with them, of course. Now that we have information, shall we return to Carla's room and continue to analyze for further clues? Yep, yeah, good plan, Tio. How long ago do you think she ran away from home? I hope it hasn't been too long. Our search will be much more difficult if she's gone far. Good question, going by what the representative told us. They probably left this morning. She was present for breakfast, but she had left by the afternoon. I think it's safe to conclude that she departed sometime in the morning. We should still be able to catch up with her. Still to know where the hell she ran off to, though. Think we should ask her friends? Could be they've got a clue or two for us. No, I don't think we have time for that. If we consider the circumstances, there's definitely a place she would have visited. We know she left this morning without having planned to. Considering that, there's one place in particular she likely had to visit first. The IBC. I think she may have gone to the IBC. Makes sense to me. Our escapee probably needed some dough for her getaway. The IBC'd be a pretty typical first stop for running away from home. If she suddenly left, then she wouldn't have had much time to pack. The IBC is certainly a possibility. Shall we depart for the IBC then? She may still be there. Yeah, let's get there ASAP. I wonder if ASAP or ASAP is better. I would say ASAP, but that's personal preference. I'm gonna swap out for a bunch of Mira if I can. Alright, we made it. Man, always feels like we're stepping into a whole other, much more impressive world when we're here. I presume the representative's runaway daughter may have stopped here. Shall we inquire with the receptionist? Yes, let's ask Lanfei to see if she knows anything about it. Can I exchange first? No. Hello there, Miss McDowell. Do you need help with anything? Hi, Lanfei. I'm just here to ask you a quick question. Did a lady by the name of Carla stop by here today? I think she may have been here with a maid. Oh, you're right. Carla did come in earlier. She told me she had urgent business to discuss with Miss Croix. With Belle? Yes, Miss Croix agreed to a meeting, so I directed Carla up to the top floor. This all happened about an hour ago. Do you mind if we go ask Maribel for some details? Truth be told, we're conducting an investigation. Oh yes, I think you should be okay to talk with her right now. I believe she's currently in the CEO's office. Thank you very much. Alright, let's get cracking. Come on, let me exchange. Like, I don't know, 835. 438. 1087. None, and sure, 1. Because I'm not going to use most of that, probably. Oh, empty. I'm so sick of this. I've been stuck in meetings all day thanks to those Ravache buffoons. Fortunately enough, I don't think their little raid will affect our stock prices negatively. Grr. I almost want to kick down their door and demand compensation for all the hassle they've put me through. Your life never seems to get any easier. You could say that again. It doesn't help that Father's who knows how many Felga away right now either. Oh, but I digress. Did you need something, Ellie? Judging by the crowd you've brought with you, it doesn't seem to be a personal issue. Yes, there's something I need to ask you, Belle. A woman named Carla should have stopped by the IBC earlier today. Did you happen to see her? Carla. Oh yes, she definitely came here not too long ago. I'm acquainted with her, given that we're both in the upper echelons of society. She claimed she had an emergency and wished to speak with me directly. She proceeded to withdraw every last Mira out of her savings account. Damn, we were right on the money. Why did she have to speak directly with you for that, Mariabelle? You'd think the receptionist would have been able to handle her request just fine. It has to do with the amount she withdrew. Under normal circumstances, you would need to fill out the appropriate paperwork. Today was an exception. As you might be able to surmise, I'm unable to disclose the exact amount she withdrew. That said, it was in the hundreds of thousands of Mira. That is an exorbitant amount of money. The truth is, Carla is attempting to run away from home. We've been tasked with bringing her back safely. Do you know where she might have gone, Belle? Oh, well, that would explain her rash behavior. Well, judging by the amount she withdrew, I would assume she's planning to relocate to a foreign country. That could be it, but whatever. Is it possible she had a destination in mind? Well, now that I think about it, I recall a conversation between her and her maid about sightseeing in Grancel. I believe Carla ordered her maid to make hotel reservations there. Grancel? Isn't that Liberal's capital city? So she's ditching this joint for Liberal. She must have departed for the airport then. We may be able to arrive in time if we proceed with haste. We must notify the airport's receptionist. Right, we have to hurry. We're sorry to bother you. To have bothered you. We appreciate your cooperation. See you later, Belle. Sure. I mean, she's an adult, isn't she? They sure know how to keep busy. Like, if she's the same age as Ellie, I think she qualifies as an adult. So, like, I don't know. She can blow hundreds of thousands of Mira sightseeing if she wants to. I mean, she then would suffer, because I don't know, considering the setup, she's probably never held a real job in her life because she probably got all that money from her father, but same with Ellie. Ellie has plenty of opportunity to spend money, but this is her first job. So she doesn't she might have money she can use, but she hasn't earned a ton. Receptionist. Excuse me, do you have a moment? We have a bit of an emergency. Oh dear, what is it? You see, an individual by the name of Carla Campbell should have boarded on an outgoing flight to Liberal. We were wondering, has that airship finished boarding yet? You said Carla Campbell? If you'll give me a moment, please. I'm terribly sorry, but Carla Campbell wasn't listed as a passenger. Are you positive? That's strange. I could have sworn that she would have been on this flight. Me too. There's only one flight scheduled today that's heading for Liberal, right? Correct. and it seems it has not departed yet. But pardon me. I knew it. You're with the police, aren't you? Wait, aren't you Marcia, one of the maids at Representative Campbell's mansion? Are you the maid that ran away with Carla? Yes, that's right. You see, Lady Carla never intended to go to Liberal in the first place. That was merely a rumor she spread to throw her father off her tracks. In actuality, she plans to live in the home of an acquaintance in the Republic. She's going to Calvard? Crap, she must have gone to the station then. If you hurry, you might make it in time. I'm sorry. My lady has caused so much trouble for everyone. But if at all possible, please bring Lady Carla back home. Despite what she says, she doesn't really want to leave Crossbell. So she got her reason for all this, huh? Well, time to roll. We'll bring her back for you, don't you worry. If she's Republic bound, the train will be departing in a matter of minutes. There's no time to waste then. Like, obviously, these stories are going to go in the way that's like the story, but... Thanks, Marcia. You were a big help. Marcia, could you inform the representative of what's happened? You can leave bringing Carla back to us. Okay. Please, I'm leaving Lady Carla in your hands. What a traitor maid. It's not, like, actually traitor, but, like... I wonder what she told Carla to justify her... just leaving. Okay, come on. It's so close. So I guess she could have just said, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, if it's that close. Maybe I talk to the receptionist people? Wait, they sell stuff here? Oh, they have old copies. Neat. Platform 2. Apparently this is where I'm supposed to go. Platform 1. The train bound for the Republic is now departing. If you are not boarding the train, then please step back to the center of the platform. Wait a second. Isn't that the train the representative's daughter is supposed to be on? We can still make it. Let's get on. Interesting. Illegally boarding a train. No ticket. We cut that close. I wonder if they'll get in trouble for not following protocol. Officers should be allowed to board trains during emergencies, so we don't have to worry about that. However, the problem remains. What do we do now? The plan was to convince Carla to return home, correct? Yeah, well, we can't ride on this train forever, you know. We still gotta drop off those drugs at St. Ursula, ain't that right? That's true. We have not come this far to simply give up. Yeah, I know. The next stop is Altair, located on the western edge of Calvard. We should have about 30 minutes. Until then, let's keep trying to persuade her to come home. Roger. I'm no quitter. Alright. I hope our words can get through to her. It's Carla. Hey, finally found her. Now we just have to persuade her to return home. The odds of her listening to reason still seem slim. Don't tell me Marcia missed the train. I guess I'm all alone now. How can I handle this? Long time no see, Carla. Ellie, what are you... I mean, what a coincidence running into you here. Are these your friends? Oh, are you planning to spend a day or two in the Republic? Haha, well, Carla. How should I start this? Apparently this is the right choice, which makes sense. Trick her into a false sense of security. I would never have clicked that because I would be honest, but yes, exactly. Thought it'd be fun to see the Republic's national orchestra with everyone. Really? And we can accompany each other until we arrive at the Republican capital. I'm so thankful I ran into you, Ellie. Truth be told, I'm feeling a bit down. After all, I'm alone on this giant train and... Alright, it looks like we've lowered her guard. Why exactly are you here, Carla? Well, it's a long story. My father is always ordering me around, filling my life with rules and more rules. Ones he doesn't even respect himself. And this morning was a perfect example of it. I will never forgive him for what he did. Which was... Whatever it was, it sounds bad. He probably just didn't show up for breakfast. He just... Okay, that's not... After breakfast, he walked into my room without knocking. Huh? That's it? Of course it's not just that. What if I was changing? More importantly, Father's the one always lecturing me about how I should always knock. And even though he throws a fit when I forget to do so. This morning, he calmly strode into my room, commanding me to do this and that, and to attend a dinner party in the evening, and... He pries into every single small detail of my private life. It's like he can't do anything but that. I can relate to how she feels, but this is nothing more than a misunderstanding between father and daughter. How should we handle this? Did you try locking your door? I'm gonna be honest. My default, if I have a room that I can lock, is just always lock the door. But that's just personal preference. That's not, like, looking at the correct answer is not the correct answer, and it's not the correct thing to say in this situation. Because, like, obviously it's not the correct answer. But I can't imagine, if my bedroom does not have a separate lock. It's never worked. I can never use it. But if it did, I would always use it because that's just habit. If I go into a room that I'm going to be in for a long time and I can lock it, I will lock it because there's a certain security. Your father is to blame. Then your father's in the wrong. I can sympathize with you, Carla. Yeah, you think so too? I knew leaving home was the right decision. Still, it's the first time I've ever left Crossbell. The only reason I decided to go through with this plan was because Marcia said she'd accompany me. I think I get the gist of this mess, but she still looks hesitant, right? She never had the strongest heart to begin with. Sure, she ran out of the house in a hurry, but I bet with every step she became more and more uneasy. Then she should almost be at her breaking point. It's dangerous to travel alone, your father is worried, your maid is worried sick. I mean, if I weren't following a guide, I'd probably say this one. But I was wondering why I still hadn't seen Marcia. No, she must have betrayed me, didn't she? Unacceptable. I specifically ordered her not to tell anyone. Please, calm down, Carla. It's true that Marcia informed us of the situation, but that's only because she's worried sick about your safety. Despite what she says, she doesn't really want to leave Crossbell. Her words, not mine. Marcia. She really said that? I'm leaving Carla in your hands. That was her farewell before we made our way to the station to find you. Well, I think it'd be best if you had another talk with your pops. Instead of running away, won't it be better to say what you wanna say to his face? Yeah, you may be right. I'd started to think that there was no one at my side. But if Marcia is waiting for me, I don't mind returning home. Everyone, perhaps Could you stay with me a bit longer and let me get everything out of my system? Besides, I need to start thinking about what I should say to Father. Sure, we can do that. We should be near Altair, but we still have the ride back. If you want the company, we'll be happy to oblige. We'd be happy to oblige. Lloyd and the others transferred in Altair for the return trip. Then 30 minutes later. Bing, 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 bing. Unicorn. Phew, we're finally back. That was a long trip, in more ways than one. Sorry for the trouble I've caused. I truly thank you for listening to what I had to say. Hee hee, please don't worry about it. Who's to say we can't handle consultations? You can count on the SSS to lend you an ear whenever you need it. Thank you. Ah. Dum dum dum. It's, How dare you worry me at a time like this, you daft girl? Speak for yourself, Father. If you had tried to come find me yourself, it would have been one thing, but to think you hired other people to do it for you. Excuse me, Lady Carla. My apologies, I was just so terribly worried. You should be sorry. I'm upset with you too, Marcia. Forgive me. But, well, I'm grateful too. Can I count on you to continue to be on my side? By my side? Of course. I'd be happy to. Oh, thank heavens. I think I finally made up my mind. I have some conditions, Father. You must knock every time you wish to enter my room. Every time, okay? In addition, you may no longer intrude upon my private life. And if you refuse, I'll be hopping right back on that train and heading to the Empire? That's a very different place than the Republic. And I won't look back. I know she doesn't mean the exact same train, but... Well, you have to stay home and behave yourself for a while first. So, are you honoring my request, or are you refusing it? Fine, I don't want to be worried or have another falling out. I'll accept your terms. So this is the power of the something or other section. For the time being, allow me to thank you for safely bringing my daughter home. However, not a word of this incident is to escape your lips to anyone. Am I understood? You got it. Our lips are sealed, so you can rest easy. Good. We're leaving, Carla. Don't you tell me what to do. Ellie, everyone, until we meet again. I can't thank you all enough for all that you've done. Please feel free to drop by our house whenever you like. We'll welcome you with warm arms. The two of them bowed deeply. I guess that settles that. Even though that took forever, I'm glad we helped them out. Judging by their conversation, I think they will work things out. What a relief. I hope you're right. I pray they'll be able to work out their differences. Doubt it. Anyway, Lloyd, we should get going now. There's still some requests we can finish up today. Yeah, good point. Let's get to it then. Search for an important person complete. I'm not talking to this guy. This is apparently a book. Here? I remember you guys. Weren't you heading to Calvard? Do you vacation a lot or something? I'm sure once you're used to traveling by train, it can become dull. I recommend you read a book to kill the time. Actually, I finished this novel not too long ago. Here, you can take it. Back Alley Dr. Glenn, Chapter 13. I shouldn't have missed any yet, right? 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So that is missable. Now it's over to the church, which is Mains Mountain Path. And the dude in the second screen, who I think is tending the graves. Grave tender. Mr. Quint, sorry to bother you. The police? That's right, sir. We're from the special sports section, calling about your request. Well, then. I want you to bring me 3 different kinds of flowers to place on the graves. Would there be any chance you could take this request on for me right now? We can start right away, sir. Glad to hear it. I'll get straight to the point. Got pen and paper on you? I'll tell you which flowers you need to collect. Ready for the first one? Yes. Tio, mind writing it down? Roger. First, the leaves flower. You'll find them blooming near the police academy on West Crossbell Highway. Second, we have the requiem flower. I believe Talus's general store on West Street sells them. Finally, there's the fennel flower. You know that watchtower in your Crossbell's east exit? They're usually at the foot of it. Oh, I know where that is. They tend to bloom near similar flowers too, so be careful to not overlook them. Once you're done, I'd like you to bring them all to me. Noted. May I ask why you specifically want these 3 flowers? Yellow, blue, and white symbolize the repose of the soul here in Crossbell. Flowers of these colors are arranged in bouquets, which are traditionally offered during funerals. Is this that language of flowers thing? I believe this is slightly different from floriography, Randy. I assume they are meant to reflect Crossbell's state colors. I think a tricolored bouquet was offered at Guy's funeral, too. Sir? What's up? You suddenly went quiet. Well, it's just that I'm a bit disappointed that your generation is so unaware of these old traditions. I mean, it's almost like she's not from the area. How do you expect to face the future without knowing your roots? Sorry about that. Haha, sorry to disappoint you, but I ain't even from Crossbell to begin with. Fine then. You know what to do. Off you go. Understood. I mean, yeah, like, the 2 people who are from Crossbell understood. The 2 people that weren't from Crossbell didn't. That's completely to be expected. Okay. To the general store, which is in the West Street. This was the requiem flowers? Welcome to Talus's general store. Looking for anything in particular? Yes, actually. We're looking for some requiem flowers. Ah, I see. Did Mr. Quint send you? That's right. Did he tell you that we'd be coming? No need to. He's one of our only customers who buys those flowers from us. Him, and a sparse few other devoted individuals. Wait here just a sec. I'm sure we have some behind the counter somewhere. Phew, I thought we were going to have to pay for them for a second there. I mean, the old man didn't exactly give us any Mira. I don't know. He didn't strike me as the kind of person to pull something over on us like that. Perhaps. But it still would have been nice to have received a little more information about the request. I suppose that's true. He only told us the locations of the flowers. Nothing more, nothing less. No flowers. Pardon me. Is something wrong? I'm so sorry, but it looks like we're out of stock on those requiem flowers. You're all out? I suppose that's our luck. Again, I'm terribly sorry. Would you mind waiting for a bit? I'll ask the Bracer Guild if they could pick some up for me. The Bracers? I suppose they would be the ones to ask. Lloyd, why don't we pick the flowers ourselves? Hell yeah. Why let the Bracers suck up all the glory, which we can do it when we can do it, no sweat. I second that. Sounds like we're all on the same page. Going ourselves would be much more efficient than waiting on them anyway. Excuse me, do you happen to know where Requiem flowers grow? Ah, I see. You're planning to get them yourselves. Well, you should find some blooming on the edge of Maine's mountain path. About halfway down the branching road that leads to those old ruins, if I recall. Thanks. We'll go ahead and try looking for them. Wonderful. And once more, I apologize for the inconvenience. Please, make sure to give Mr. Quint my regards. Okay, so Maine's mountain path I'll do last. I'm bad at clicking buttons. So Maine's mountain path. West Crossbell near Police Academy, and the East Crossbell near the tower. So let's go east, west, and then Mines. I keep calling it Mains, but I think it's actually meant to be mines. But it trips me up. Here's the tower over here. Flowers. Fainal flower. Oh, these white ones are fainal flowers, aren't they? This location is fairly close to Crossbell City, so I'd imagine people frequently come by here to pick them. Yeah, without any strong monsters are chilling at a place like this. Regardless, weaker monsters are still a threat to children and the elderly. True enough. Shall we get going? Out. Oh. Tear bomb. Useless. I should really go to the exchange shop and exchange all my low tier, like, tear bombs for tiara bombs. Again, supposedly rainbow palms spawn here, but I've never seen them. West, I should have gone up instead of down on the controls there, but too late. West Crossbell was Police Academy. Oh yeah, the Hydra looking guys that are not Hydras. Pretty sure this is the direction I want to go. Yeah. Oh, flowers. Levis flower. Oh, aren't these yellow ones the Levis flowers we've been looking for? Probably a real pain for regular folks to pick them because of the location, yeah? It is in front of the police academy. Considering how far apart these flower beds are scattered throughout Crossbell, it's fairly difficult to gather a 3-color bouquet. And that's why most graves today are decorated with a single type of flower. 3-color bouquets are usually saved for funeral services. Huh. Learn something new every day. Traditions must face reality eventually. Yeah, I guess that's true. Little lizard. West exit. Now it's to mines. And running towards the Moon Temple. I think this is the fastest starting point. It might be faster to go from the like village, but no, this is probably faster than the village. I don't want to, I was supposed to say I don't want to run into any of the Hydra guys, but honestly that's just as annoying because they're pointless to run into. There's no value in fighting these weak what? Perfect. I don't want to fight right now. I'm just here for flowers. Looking for flowers. I don't think it's down there, but it could be. Maybe the flowers of the other path? Yeah, looks like they are the down path. It probably said that, didn't it? Just button mashing. Oh, there it is. Requiem flower. These blue ones are Requiem flowers, right? That took us ages to find. I know, right? I imagine how hard it would have. Okay, imagine how hard it would have blown if there weren't any here. Now, you two. The flowers were here, so it was worth it, right? Yeah, we got the job done, and that's what counts. I just couldn't interpret what he was saying. So... whatever. Keep running. Please no mole. Good, no mole. Okay, just look at the minimap to steer. Kinda wish the icons were a little smaller, so that you could use it to more accurately steer around enemies. Like right here, it looks like I would cover the entire space, but I don't. So now it's time to... actually, what level am I? 32. I think this chest is 33. I don't think I can fight that. Or if I could, it's just not worth doing right now. So this, and then there is a side quest at Imelda's. Once I finish this quest. The hidden side quests are not my favorite part. They're fun stories, but finding them legitimately would be so frustrating. We're back, Mr. Quint. Faster than I expected. Did you get the flowers? Yes. Please check to make sure we got the right ones. Levis, Requiem, Banal. Those are the ones, alright. Your efforts are much appreciated, Special Support Section. Just doing our jobs, sir. Man, getting all those flowers took way more work than I was expecting. Even Taluses had run out. What are the odds of that? Well, we still managed. Sir, may I ask you something? What is it? It's not particularly common to gather these three specific flowers, except for funerals nowadays. What exactly do you need them for? You're right that there's no funeral at the moment. Well, since you helped me pick them, come with me. We'll go place them together. You'll get your answer afterwards. Was it his wife? Was it his daughter? Was it his son? What is he talking about? Beats me. I guess we'll see when we get there. Was it his entire family? Here lies Saya McLean. Oh. So would that be Arios's wife? Dead at the age of 24? McLean? Could this be Arios's wife? On to the next one. 11 something 8. This one's seen better days. Can't even make out whose name's on it. Perhaps the gravekeeper knows. Here's the last one. ... Here lies Guy Bannings, 1176 to 1201. Dead at the age of 25. Is this who I think it is? Lloyd's older brother. The reason I asked you to gather those 3 flowers is pretty simple. I wanted to give them to Guy Bannings and to the families of those that were precious to him. It's only natural to want to show respect to one's closest friends, right? Sir, did you know Guy Bannings? That's right. Doubt I could forget him even if I tried. Back when he was alive, he often came to visit me in my cabin. We'd share drinks and stories till the sun rose. I don't have any family left, you see, so I can't tell you how many times his company saved this old man. I had no idea. I'm starting to understand the nature of this support request. When it came time for his funeral, I felt like I was torn to shreds. Your name was Lloyd, right? So you must be Guy's younger brother. You know who I am? I mean, if he was at the funeral, he would have seen him. I remember first catching a glimpse of you at your brother's funeral. Then, once I saw that picture of you in the Crossville Times 4 months ago, it jogged my memory. Heh, your faces aren't anything alike, yet I'm starting to see the resemblance. Haha. Well, I don't think I'm anywhere near him yet when it comes to being a detective, though. Lloyd. Actually, there's another reason why I submitted such an annoying job to the SSS. I needed to ascertain firsthand whether you four, Guy's successors, had grown any. And, did we make the grade? Well, you finished the job, so that's something. However, you're still rough around the edges. Damn, bit harsh, don't you think? Ho ho ho. That said, I think the special support section has a bright future ahead. There's a chance you'll catch up to, or maybe even overtake Guy one day. And when that happens, come back here and pay me a visit. We'll share some drinks, the same as I did with Guy. Alright, I'm looking forward to it. Your older brother lives on through a lot of people, doesn't he? I agree. Through me as well. Catching up to a guy that talented ain't the easiest thing in the world. It's going to take quite a while, I bet. Honestly, that goal might even end up being a bigger barrier than taking down the mafia or Crossville's corruption, you know? Yeah, you said it. And yet, I will surpass him someday. I have to. Looks like I've talked your ears off. Time to head back inside. Thanks to you, I was able to pay my respects to my dear friends. I can't thank you enough for that. If anything else ever comes up, I'll make sure to contact you again. We'll be waiting. Goodbye, sir. Flowers for fallen friends complete. Pretty good side quest, I enjoyed that. Though, I mean, look at all these blue flowers, look at all these white flowers. Why do they have, I mean, the blue flowers were called Requiem flowers, so it makes sense to use those instead of other blue flowers, but still. Apparently there's a side quest here. If you have enough DP. Imelda is using a communication device installed beneath the counter. What? Don't joke with me, you old fool. I've had a buyer lined up for ages. It's ready, isn't it? Send it here immediately. Do I make myself clear? Damn it. That geezer hung up on me. Good morning, ma'am. Did you need us to help with anything? Ah, it's you four. Yes, actually. You see, this stubborn old kook, I thought it was always coot, like stubborn old coot, not kook, I know has finally gone senile. Oh, I understand. Eidos must have sent you four to assist me. Yes, oh yes. You will work wonderfully. Come again? I've got a bad feeling about this. A feeling? No. It is a certainty. Are you free now, by chance? Not really. You are? Splendid. No, wait. We actually have somewhere to be. Oh, I'm sure you do. I bet it's not anything urgent. After all, you had the time to stop by here. Okay, you got me. Would it be correct to presume that you have a job for us, Imelda? Sharp girl. Not that I'd expect anything less from old McDowell's granddaughter. Hehehe. I do, in fact, have something for you to do. Needless to say, I would make it worth your while. That's not the part I'm worried about. Oh, fine then. We can at least hear what you have in mind for us. Let's get down to it. All I need you to do is go pick up a doll and deliver it to me. A doll? By that, do you mean... I do. One from the Rosenberg... I do. One from the Rosenberg studio, which you'll find on the outskirts of the northern mountain path. Naturally, it's no fake like that one at the Schwartz auction. It's a genuine Rosenberg doll, one of his newest ones in fact, and it's in absolute mint condition. Whoa, back it up. Don't those things go for tens of thousands of Mira? A single Rosenberg doll is worth the average Crossbell's entire annual income. Yes, well, I'm contracted as the studio's sales agent. The only problem is that the miser is an old fool who despises any human interaction. I went to great lengths to find a buyer for his latest doll, and he has the nerve to start complaining now? Well, I'm not sure if we can solve that exact problem. But we should be able to bring back the doll for you. I am curious about one thing though. Why is the Meister suddenly against selling it? Ah, well, the buyer is slightly problematic. Truth be told, he's an infamous broker that always resells works of art at exorbitantly high prices. I can only assume that the old coot is put off by that. Justifiable. As the artist, I can hardly blame him. I don't know, guys. This one might be a bit out of our league. Excuse me. Goodness, you youngsters these days are so unbelievably lazy. Come now, I'm paying for your help. I have no doubt you can change that man's callous heart and safely retrieve the doll. Well... Rosenberg Studio, huh? I guess I am a bit curious about Ren. There might be some kind of connection there with Kia as well. We can't promise we'll get the job done, since we have other things to take care of, but if you're okay with that, we accept. Fine. I suppose that will do. Well, then. I'll leave this case in your hands, dearies. Try not to disappoint. So, Hemanes to the doll studio. Doll studio's up this way. It's been a while since I've traveled up to the doll studio. a couple chapters ago, Estelle and Joshua were here. Glad it got one shot. Yeah, this section's been a while. It's interesting that he has like, that's probably like a kiln or something. Rosenberg Studio. This place seems as deserted as usual. How odd. It sounded like Imelda was in contact with someone here. Not to mention, wasn't Ren staying here too? Albeit faint, I detect a presence coming from within the building. As to whether it is human or not, I am not sure, but it is definitely there. Huh. So not even you can tell, Tio. Hey, Lloyd. If what Estelle and Joshua told us about that society is legit, then... Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. This doll studio must be connected to it in some way or another. Yup. Looking like it. Well, I guess it is possible. Honestly, I didn't take them seriously at first, given the absurdity of the story, but considering everything that happened with Ren, it's starting to sound more feasible. So that's what's going on here. You're the young police officer Ren was telling me about, Do we get to meet the mystical Rosenberg? Or is he just gonna be talking through like a device? Okay, I'm gonna go off on a tangent. I really love how they just plonked this structure directly on top of that. Like, they didn't make it so that there was like trim following there in any way. They just plonked this right onto this shape that they built. I guess at least that's what it looks like. That's pretty funny. Who's there? Where'd that voice come from? You were sent here by Imelda, I presume. You're out of luck, though. My works aren't mere second-rate antiques to be handled and pawned off by a broker like her. Leave at once. Sir, please. Well, when you put it like that, what's a guy supposed to do? He makes a fair point. Still, I suppose you did make a long trek to get here. Turning you away at the door would no doubt be unsatisfactory. Besides, I owe you a debt for all you did for Ren, so I'll give you one chance. A chance? What do you mean? What I mean is that I'd like to test the extent of your strength. The gate is unlocked. If you so wish, open it and enter. However, are you prepared? Should we go inside? From what he said, something's bound to happen when we open that gate. Don't tell me he went and set a bunch of booby traps for us. Perhaps it's something even nastier. Open the gate. Everyone. Spooky. Double spooky. Well, actually, sextuple spooky. Look out. Are those angels? And monsters? No, it's angels and demons. For real, old man? This is your freaking test? Brace yourselves. They're coming. Please. Oh, good. Let's just rush in. Go aggressive on this. he's gonna stay back for now in the hopes that they focus on Lloyd, but they don't. I was hoping they would focus on Lloyd, but they didn't. I have no idea what they resist. I'm gonna assume this guy's gonna walk forward. Okay, they don't move at all. Wait, why do you take so much damage? Okay, he can heal himself. Something hit Lloyd really hard and I wasn't paying attention. Can he... He can't what the... Oh, it was targeting him for some reason. Okay. Oh, their attacks are just wild. That's why it looked so weird. I'm just gonna lose. I'm just gonna opt to lose this. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna reload. I have to go through all this again. And it's just the same stuff over again. And I'm gonna remember that on Lloyd's turn when he starts, he can... Either when he starts or... He can see information about them at the beginning. She doesn't have any really good buffs. Chrono Drive's not awful. Calamity Claw's good though. Randy will just... I think let's just do Avalon Gate. I mean, Randy's gonna die. He's not gonna get this off. They're both gonna die before it occurs. A spoiler that supposedly... I was too slow. At revive at least, but... I spoiled that these guys apparently reflect all physical attacks. Oh, wonderful. Wait, no, they're immune to like everything but Earth. Or they're basically immune to everything but Earth. Can't hit either. Oh, but higher elements aren't Earth. I need to keep that in mind. So just like Soul Blur. So, I don't know, Death Spiral. Death Spiral was wasted. Oh no, Avalon Gate was wasted. Those weren't your normal monsters. Are those springs and gears? Dolls, I presume. Dolls? What kind of dolls have you been playing with? It looks like you four aren't entirely useless then. Sir? He doesn't even look that old. Like, his face doesn't look old, he just has gray hair. Now that looks old. Wipe away the shock. I'm Jorg, owner of the Rosenberg Dolls Studio. You four are the breadth of the CPD's Special Support Section, I presume. Yes, sir. Did Ren tell you all about us? Tell you about us? No, I didn't need to hear it from her. I may be a recluse, but that kind of information gets around. I'm still not too keen about handing this over to Imelda, but a promise is a promise. Here. New doll's trunk. Thank you, sir. I was not expecting you to hand it over this quickly, considering your objection earlier. Ha, every doll has its own destiny. Could be this doll has to pass through the hands of a boorish broker before it finds itself where it truly belongs. It's the same with people. Each and every one of our destinies rests in the hands of the goddess. Wise words. Things do make a bit more sense when you phrase it like that. But wait just a second. What was the deal with those angels and monsters you had us fight? And does this mean that Ren really is a part of that society? Detective Bannings. Do you really have the time to be worrying about things like that? Huh? I'm a humble doll maker. Nothing more, nothing less. You are attempting to confront the many illnesses plaguing this land. However, you will find it impossible to find a cure for all of them. And despite all that, I hear that you intend to gaze into the bottomless abyss. The same goes for Ren. Her destiny is not directly entwined with yours. Before you worry yourself with Ren, isn't there someone else who should be taking priority? Ah, you mean Kia, right? Lloyd found her in a suitcase that was meant to contain one of your dolls, but it appears you already know that, sir. If you know something about Kido, now's the time to spill the beans. Did you forget what I just told you? Every doll has its own destiny. It's quite possible that through some strange twist of fate, life took root in one of my creations, and it became human. Come again? What are you even trying to say? Heh, to be clear, no dolls with her characteristics have ever been crafted by these hands of mine, as far as I can recall. The entire incident was likely someone appropriating the Rosenberg name. Phew. That was in bad taste, sir. So, you really know nothing? You really don't know anything about Kia? At the very least, I'm not aware of how she was involved, how she became involved in that auction. That does imply that he actually knows more than that, because whatever. I assume neither does Ren. Ah, well then. Damn, Hero's hoping you to have some kind of clue for us. That reminds me, is Ren inside? No, she just left actually. She is quite the fickle child. You'd be wasting your time to try and catch her here. Wait. I have no more to say to you four. Go on. Take that doll to Imelda. And tell her to deposit the Mira in the usual account. And back we go. The Society of Ouroboros, eh? Dunno if that old man is part of it, but one thing's for sure. Those guys are anything but normal. I am curious about those dolls. Even the Epstein Foundation is still incapable of creating things of that nature. And Liberal's ZCF has only just begun their research into them. The Rosenberg studio is becoming more and more mysterious with every visit. This might be too much for us to handle at this point in time. I think you're right. I think you might be right there. Well, we still have a job to do. Let's take this doll back to the antique shop. I'm sure Imelda is waiting for us. Sounds good. Back we go. Like, I fully respect this game not having fast travel. That is like any point to any point type stuff, but these run backs to get to the bus stops are kind of uninteresting. So that's the last subquest once I interact with Imelda, and then it will be down towards the suspicious, the hospital. But gotta heal first. I haven't used the ability to rest. I think maybe I've used resting it in once this game. But I haven't used it much. Is that trunk what I think it is? That's right. Jorg agreed to leave it with us. Jorg, would you like to confirm its contents? Oof, that's Ren right there. Sweet Eidos, it really is that nut's new doll. I cannot fathom how you convinced him, but bravo. I'm not sure if we convinced him, or if he was just impressed by our raw stubbornness. Either way, it is a marvelous doll, isn't it? I've seen some before at a friend's place, but each one truly is a masterpiece. The craftsmanship takes one's breath away. I am inclined to agree. They're remarkable. I was expecting it to be about the same size as Kia, though. That sweet little girl you brought before, eh? There are Rosenberg dolls that are about her height, yes. Jorg seldom makes them, though, so you never see them on the market. That's also why they're said to fetch such outrageous prices at the auction. Perhaps older dolls were more her size. For example, I remember Belle's being a similar height. Oh, really? I have a question, Imelda. Are you aware of the other dolls Rosenberg Studio has made? Other dolls? Whatever do you mean? How about giant dolls that can move on their own? Ring any bells? Specifically ones that look like an angel, and another with a big face. Oh, are you perhaps talking about the automata? If anything, I'd say those are actually his specialty. I've heard their movements have become even more precise since he started incorporating orbital technology in them. You know about them? And you didn't? Even Arc-en-Ciel uses them on stage from time to time. I believe the soldier with the spear in their latest production was an automaton. What? You mean that one? The one that was twirling the spear around like it was nothing? I never would have guessed. Not in a million years. Well, surprise. The troops sent an entire order for complex stage props, too. Everything from lighting apparatus to the water control to the wire flying system was entirely Jorg's handiwork. I suppose it's still far from being public knowledge, though. Well, my mind's blown. I will admit that I thought the stage was incorporating impressive tech. But does that mean that those angels and monsters function similarly? Who's to say? That old coot's full of mysteries. Not to mention stubborn to the bone. And hates just about everyone he meets. But as long as he puts out a new product every so often and lets me dip in on the profit, I don't have any complaints. At any rate, you certainly didn't disappoint, dearies. You'll be the first on my list to call if I ever need a hand again. Ah, if you insist. Well then, if you'll excuse us. Getting a new doll complete. Now it's time for the rest of the main quest for today. St. Ursula. You people to talk to. Kate, what are you doing here? I believe it is rare for uniformed members of the CPD to be assigned duties that take them outside the city. Oh, I was just escorting some people here. You see, there's a few members of Heiyue recovering at St. Ursula Hospital. And since some of the 2nd Division detectives wanted to question them, I was put in charge of driving them here with one of the police cars. I don't think the department knows how bad of a driver I am, though. Gotcha. What matters is that you made it. Yeah, sort of. Alright. We'll have to check and see if Dr. Gunter has any time to meet with us. Yes, we should probably ask the receptionist about that. I just hope he didn't play hooky and go fishing again. I wouldn't even be surprised if that were the case. I have to step out for just a second to get more water. It should be done soon, so maybe it's not necessary, but this could take significantly longer than I expect. So I'll be back in, hopefully, only a couple minutes. But it'll be quick. probably cut out all that, as long as I remember to. But back, always remember, drink water, stay healthy, in the most basic way possible. Why, hello there everyone. Are you here to visit Miss Cecile? I can't remember if it's Cecile or Cecil. I'm going Cecile. Oh, not today. We're here to meet with Dr. Günther again. Does he happen to be available today? Ah, let me check. Well, well, Dr. Günther, I see you picked up the phone today. You have some visitors. If you have some time free, would you... Oh, bad timing. Do you have some examination or research to do? I see what's going on here. Planning to go fishing, are we? I think not. You're on the clock, so you need to do your job, got it? He's the same as always. Though he is exceptional in his field, his dedication seems... lacking. Yes, it's Detective Bannings from the Special Support Section. Yes, I understand. Should I have them meet you in your laboratory then? Well, Dr. Günther will see you now. If you'll head up to the research ward, please. Thanks. Looks like we threw a wrench in his plans. The suggested people to interact with basically just Shizuku, who is on the way anyway, so... or attempting to interact with her. Hello. Oh, hello everyone. Thank you so much for yesterday. Haha, it was nothing. Besides, we got something out of it too. Someone looks happy. Me? Well, I get to visit the city tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. And Father told me he'd be able to take a break from work. Oof, he's probably not gonna get as much of a break as he wants. That busy geezer managed to get a day off from the guild, huh? I'm so happy for you, Shizuku. Except, would Arius have told her this yesterday, before the whole incident occurred? Now you can give him the present you made yesterday. That's my plan. Oh, and if it's okay with you, would you mind if I came and played with Kia? Of course you can. You're always free to stop by. We have work to do, but the Chief and Kia should be at the SSS building. I can already picture Kia's smiling face when you arrive. Thank you. I'll make sure to dress up when I leave tomorrow then. Fun. Oh, I'm so glad. This must be the happiest I've ever seen Shizuku during her time here. Well, I know I'd have just as bright of a smile on my face if you told me I was going to get to spend some time with Ilya. Shizuku isn't able to get away from the hospital very much, so I hope her day out is packed full of fun for her. And it's to here. Excuse us. Welcome, everyone. How very nice of you to visit. Sorry to show up out of the blue like this. We apologize for getting in the way of your hobby, Doctor. It's fine. Noon is the ideal time to catch noble carp. There's no way it's noon. Like, we went out, we visited Heiyue, we visited the casino, we spent an hour on a train, and we did a bunch of other stuff. There's no way it's noon. Noon is the ideal time to catch noble carp. But if duty calls, trust me, I'm not going to hold a grudge against you over this or anything. He says that, but I feel like he resents us with every fiber of his being. A fishing nut through and through. Well, putting my bitter regrets behind us, What brings you here today? I assumed you were here to discuss Kia's condition, but I see she's not with you. Actually, it's about something else. Kia's the same as usual, though. There hasn't been any improvement with her memories. I see. Personally, I still think you should have had her hospitalized. About that, we've tried to suggest it to her a few more times, but she just won't have it. I'm sorry. I know we won't get anywhere closer to solving the problem like this. It's okay. There's no point in rushing things after all. Just keep it in mind. So, what's this other matter? I assume it has something to do with my fields of expertise. That's exactly right. Would you mind taking a look at this drug for us? Oh? Sorry, I just wanna get a screenshot. These pills. Such a vibrant blue. No coloring agent I've ever heard of would be able to produce this. We found these pills among the possessions of a certain individual. We suspect they're illegal drugs. I see. Please, would you fill me in on the rest of the details? Okay, I think I understand now. So, Dr. Gunter, do you know anything about these blue pills? I made them. Where they might have been developed, maybe. I'm sorry to say, but I haven't seen this type of drug before. As a pharmacologist, I have contacts in every pharmaceutical company in Samaria. I typically receive samples of all newly developed medicine. However, I've never seen a pill of this coloration. Ah, that's a shame. And what's more, the effect of these pills are particularly interesting. A boost in strength, focus, reflexes, judgment, and even intuition. It managed to improve every single one of these attributes. Well, we haven't been able to confirm whether or not the Mafia have been taking these drugs. That miner's been the only confirmed case so far. And nothing has truly substantiated Mr. Grimwood's rumor yet. Either way, I can tell you right now that this is no ordinary drug. How about this? Allow me to keep 3 of these pills. I can conduct a composition analysis right away. That would be great. Do you know how long it will take for the analysis to finish? Well, I have the medicine on me, and a general idea of its effects. I'd like to think I'll have its composition figured out by the end of the day. But if I'm not able to do that, this may take a considerable amount of time. Ah, I see. I can contact you tomorrow around noon to let you know how it's going. Would that be okay? Perfect. Thanks for your assistance in all this, Dr. Gunter. It's a big relief knowing you're helping us. By the way, do you think there are any possible side effects or toxicity? I thought we already established that a side effect was like the rage and going crazy. Without further analysis, I can't say for sure, but if anything happens to that miner, call me as soon as possible. And do the same if you find any others who have taken these pills. We can do that. Man, who knows just how far this stuff has spread throughout Crossbell. We hear rumors popping up about it all over the city. Of course, it is impossible for us to question Ravash about this, but if their members really are taking it, I am concerned about the side effects. Yeah, likewise. Doctor? Are you worried about the side effects too? Oh no, that's not it. With all this talk of rumors, I was reminded of one I've heard recently. You too? What kind of rumor? Haha, okay. Remember, none of this ever officially confirmed. was ever officially confirmed or explained, but several years back, there was an odd rumor that floated around the pharmaceutical industry. It talked about a certain religious cult that had created a new kind of drug. A religious cult? Do you mean they were a sect of radicals who split off from the Septian Church? No, they were something even worse than that. Apparently, they rejected the very existence of Eidos and worshipped devils instead. At least, that's what I heard. They worshipped devils? This story sounds more and more suspicious by the second. Haha, I definitely thought it was absurd when I first heard it too. However, I can't help but recall the effects of the medicine they allegedly created. It was said that they borrowed the power of the devils to unlock the hidden potential within humans, even bringing the user great luck. That sounds like the same effects as these pills. Excuse me, Dr. Gunter. Do you know the name of that drug? Let's see. What was it again? Oh, right. I remember now. They called it True Wisdom. Gnosis. Or so the rumor goes. Gnosis. That's quite the thought-provoking name. Well, because of its absurdity, the story became somewhat of an urban myth. But you've heard rumors of the secret society that was connected to that big incident in Liberal last year, right? Maybe the two could be connected somehow. I'm pretty sure that's not... somehow is probably true. That must be the society that Estelle and Joshua told us about. Do you think it could possibly have any ties to a devil-worshipping cult? My understanding is they might have individuals who would be related, but the fundamental society is not a devil-worshipping cult. Anyway, in order to uncover the truth behind these pills, I plan to contact some colleagues of mine to help with the analysis. While I do that, I'll also try looking into that rumor to see if it still has any merit. We'd appreciate that. A drug that borrows the power of devils. I can't say I was expecting to hear a story like that when we walked in. Anyway, for now, we should trust the doctor with the composition analysis. I agree. We should return to Crossbow before it gets dark. It's noon. It's just after noon. It's not going to be dark for several hours. Also, the First Division's investigation report might be waiting for us by the time we get back. Oh boy. Can't wait to spend all evening reading over a mountain of papers. Dum dum dum. Away we go. Well, it's already getting pretty late, so we'd better grab a bus instead of walking back. No arguments here. Thank goodness for this bus system of ours. I don't know what I'd do without it. Tio? What's the matter, Tio-Tot? You've been awfully quiet for a bit now. I am fine. Tio? The sun makes it hard to see, but your face, it's so pale. What? I told you, I am fine. I just feel a bit unwell, is all. No. Feeling unwell means you're not fine. There's gotta be some place to rest around. Tio. Oh no. I'll go get a doctor. Hurry. It was just her anemia acting up. Thank goodness. After a bit of rest, she should wake up and be good as new. That's good news, at least. What a relief. You said it. For a second there, I was getting pretty worried. Still, I'm sorry we couldn't put her in a normal hospital bed. Mine was the only one available. Unfortunately, every room we have in the hospital is occupied right now, including by that worthless senator. That's alright. I'm sure your room will be more than enough to help Tio recover. Cecil, thank you so very much. Don't mention it, Ellie. I have to work the night shift tonight. It's perfectly fine if she wants to rest here until tomorrow morning. Well, I'll be going then. Thanks, Cecil. I mean, what a nightmare workplace. Because supposedly, the doctor was going to leave at noon. Before we talked to him at noon, we talked to her in Shizuku's room. So she was up before noon, and then she has night shift. And she was working before noon, too. So, like, unless she went to sleep at noon, and then got, like, her rest then, that's a nightmare. We really appreciate the help. Nightmare workplace. Which I understand is not totally uncommon with hospitals, but... Tio, if only we'd noticed sooner. Well, no, you did notice. She just brushed you off. Now that I think about it, she first started to look a little sick during our conversation with Dr. Gunther. And if I remember correctly, it was when he started telling us about that drug those devil worshippers made. I'm fine, you know. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Tio, you're awake? I'm so glad. You had us worried, you know. Please, there was no need to be. Given that you were involved in the ongoing drug investigation, I know it's your duty to ask me. About everything I know, I mean. Listen, Tio. Do you really think we would push you to share something you're clearly uncomfortable about? Huh? While the investigation is certainly important, these are two separate matters. You're more to us than just a colleague. Above all, you're an irreplaceable friend, Tio. Ah, everyone's got some bit of their past they'd rather not talk about. Well, I guess mine's kinda ended up getting out anyway. But if you really don't want to talk about what you know, Tio taught, then we'll do everything we can to support that decision. Ellie, Randy, that's how we all feel, Tio. But if you ever decide you want to tell us about the things you've kept hidden, if talking about them with us will help ease your burden even a little, then know that all of us would be happy to help shoulder it for you. Lloyd, I think it's a little overdone. Like, the side quest in the cemetery didn't linger. This has them going over the top. And I think that ruins any potential emotion of the moment. I'm constantly amazed by the embarrassing things you say when you get into one of your speeches. Not just you, but Ellie and Randy, too. Lloyd's cheesiness must be rubbing off on you. Haha, yeah, I think you got us there. Clearly, we've been spending too much time listening to Lloyd. Yeah, laugh it up. I've already told Lloyd a part of this story, but let me explain from the start. When I was 5, I was kidnapped and held captive by a cult of religious fanatics. No. Damn. The cult's objective in doing so is still unknown, but one thing is clear. They were attempting to obtain something by rejecting the goddess and worshipping devils. I think that they saw me and the other captive children as offerings. Nothing more, nothing less. Simply a means to obtain whatever they wanted. Offerings? Yes, I call them offerings because sacrifices wouldn't exactly be right. Though, I suppose it's possible the term could apply to some of the children. The cult had several lodges, and each was experimenting with different rituals. As for the lodge I was taken to, their rituals primarily involved various kinds of human experimentation. Human experimentation? So that's why you've got those enhanced senses of yours. Precisely. Sensors were attached to our entire bodies, and we were pumped full of drugs. They attempted to enhance our 5 senses, using any method imaginable. They even tried enhancing our sensitivity to supernatural phenomena by applying psychological stress and hypnosis. For 3 long years, that was my life, day in, day out. That can't be. Despite all that, I was one of the lucky ones. None of the children could withstand the procedures, except for me. One by one, they began to disappear. And it was at the moment when I became the last child remaining that I gained this power. My hearing became keen enough. Became keen enough that even though a massive rock wall separated us, I could hear the others' final cries, as though I was right there in the room with them. It's meant to be an emotional thing, I get it, but the other character's reaction to this doesn't need to be stated. It's obvious that they're gonna be like, wow, this is horrific. So cutting to them doesn't promote the mood. I actually dislike this. Then something happened. Lloyd's brother, Guy, broke into the lodge. Okay, Lloyd, it was obvious that's what was going to happen. You shouldn't be acting surprised. The team accompanying Guy was able to neutralize the cult followers and dismantle the lodge's operation. The resistance was strong, but the moment the lodge fell, most of the cultists committed suicide. Guy passed by countless bodies littering the ground until he finally reached the ceremonial chamber. And there, he found me, the only surviving child. By the time Guy found me, I was wasting away. So weak, I was near death myself. I was quickly brought to this hospital and spent several months recuperating here. What happened after that, I've already told Lloyd about. So that's what really happened. Tio, and in a cruel twist of fate, though I was so grateful to Guy for saving me from that place, when I heard that he passed away 3 years ago, I didn't feel much of anything. It's as if, in exchange for this power, I had my emotions stripped away. That's how it felt to me, at least. Tio. But I think, back then, I actually wanted to ask him something. I wanted to ask a strong, impossibly optimistic person like Guy, how exactly should a broken person like me live? In the end, though, I missed my chance to ask, and it ended up being recruited by the Epstein Foundation. After that, I joined the special support section and began to live with all of you. But even now, I still haven't figured out the answer. How should I live my life? And why? Why did I survive? Why am I here? Ah. You don't have to worry about that. It's okay to not have answers. Everyone struggles with those very same questions. What? Why are we here? How should we live our lives? There aren't many people out there who do have answers to those questions, Tio. Me, Ellie, Randy, we're all lost, same as you. I know I definitely lost my way for a bit, that's for sure. Still, Teotot, there's no need to rush to find an answer to those questions. We've got our entire lives to figure stuff like that out. But if you can't help but wonder what the answers are, all you need to do is keep searching for them. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. And then she's gonna burst into tears right after this line. We can search for the answers together. Yay. Of course, that includes me, Randy, the Chief, Kia, even Zeit. We're all here for you. We'll help you find the answers you're looking for. I knew it. Lloyd really has rubbed off on you too. You're all making such cheesy speeches now. Why are you like this? Well, we didn't really have a say in the matter, did you know? The moment we joined the SSS, we were fated to fall victim to Lloyd's sappiness. Randy's right. We're a team. We share what we feel, even if it is embarrassing. I don't really get why this is my fault, but I definitely agree with Ellie's last point. We share everything. Embarrassment, our past pains, and of course, our smiles and happiness as well. That's what it means to be a team, right? Please stop. All your sappy feelings are smothering me. I don't even know how much more I can take. But for some reason, it's not a bad feeling. If they hadn't done this emotional moment half a dozen times already, it might have had an emotional impact, but they've done this several times already. And so just get it over with is what it feels like to me. Like, I get reality makes it difficult, blah blah blah, but like, you can't, in a fictional story where everything is plotted out and fake, you can't have the exact same situation occur 3-4 times and expect to get any reaction by the end, because it's always the same. I should read that. After their heartfelt talk, the SSS took the bus back to Crossbell City. When they returned to the SSS building and put an exhausted Tio in bed, Lloyd, Ellie, and Randy decided to have one more talk with Chief Sergei. Damn it. That name again. Gnosis. Chief, it's about time you tell us. Please, tell us what my brother was involved in 6 years ago, and about the cult that kidnapped Tio. Please, you must be aware of everything that happened. I had a feeling you knew what was up with Teotot from the start. Of course I know about the cult. Back when they were at the height of their power, it was Guy and I who tracked down and took out one of their lodges. You did? Then Chief, you were my brother's... Yeah, I was Guy's superior officer. I guess even back then, I was a bit of an oddball in the force. So one day, I ended up with 2 unconventional rookies assigned to serve under me. One of them being your brother. Ah. Guy was impulsive, a bit reckless too, but he was a damn great detective. The other rookie was like night and day in terms of personality. 2 of them made a hell of a team, and this can be Dudley, right? Who exactly was this other rookie? Don't tell me it was that Dudley guy from the 1st Division. It'd be funny if it wasn't. No, there it is. Nah, Dudley was hired straight into the 1st. The guy was practically born for that division. Could it be Arios? That would be fun. As for this other rookie, I'll bet you've heard of him somewhere before. His name is Arios McLean. What? He was a part of the police? He was. But he traded his police badge in for the Bracer's Gauntlet some years back. Hell, that's probably one of the reasons police here in Crossbell have such a rocky relationship with the guild. Didn't see that coming. So my brother and Arios both joined the force at the same time. Yeah, though Arios was a couple years older than Guy. And it showed. Arios was always a bit more mature. He was already a family man with a wife and daughter at the time. Guy, on the other hand, he was as bright-eyed as he was foolish. A wild card who was always rushing off to help people. I think there are many differences where the reason they got along so well, though. A little less than 2 years after joining the force, and those 2 were already being heralded as the CPD's rising stars. Considering what we know about their skills, I can definitely believe that. Exactly. To be honest, I was damn proud of those boys. After all, not many people get the chance to mentor 2 fine young rookies like them. Our squad was able to accomplish a lot in the time we had together. To the point where the higher-ups decided to leave the joint investigation of a certain international case to us, rather than the 1st Division. Joint investigation? International case? We know what the international case is already. Wait, are you talking about... Yeah, it was about the cult. DG. Oh, that's like... Yeah, therefore. I thought therefore was the other way. Like, there's therefore and since that are like 3 dots, either 2 bottom, 1 top, or 2 top, 1 bottom. But I guess that's D, therefore G. That's their official name. Written out with the therefore sign in the middle. D, therefore G. Devil, therefore God? The heck's a therefore sign? 3 dots arranged in a triangle. It's a symbol used in mathematical proofs and logical arguments. What exactly did the D and G stand for, devil and God? We never solved the entire riddle, but we did uncover what the meaning of the G is. Oh, it's Gnosis. Devil, therefore Gnosis? Demon, therefore Gnosis? Interesting. Ah. The drug Dr. Gunter told us about. The one rumored to use power borrowed from devils. This can't be a coincidence. It's already been 6 years since that whole mess. Those zealots left behind a lot of mysteries. But I know one thing for sure. Out of my decades of service on the force, this group were the most disgusting pieces of shit I've ever had the displeasure to encounter. The bastards use those kids they kidnapped as sacrifices at their lodges. So then, the abduction case Mr. Grimwood mentioned yesterday, it was... Ooh, that's a good design. I like that. That's fun. The DG cult. They had more than 10 active lodges spread all across Zemuria, and they performed various rituals in each of them, summoning horrific devils, taking advantage of artifacts for their gain, experimenting on those poor children. And there was always one constant in their rituals, a mysterious drug called Gnosis. This is all a lot to take in. So, how'd you end up solving a case as messed up as this one? It's gonna be they didn't solve it? Ah, right. Oh, it's our boy. Like I said yesterday, this issue affected a number of countries, so they got together and organized a joint investigation. It says Banning's on the bottom because of the jacket. Top right is the bracer that we met, that's in the first book or two, first few volumes. I think he's an S-rank bracer from Calvard. So this is Bright, Cassius Bright, Arios, Sergei, Guy, the bracer that I can't remember the name of, but it's, I think, starts with a Z, and then this might be someone from the Empire. Like I said yesterday, this issue affected a number of countries, so they got together and organized a joint investigation. Each country's army, police force, and Bracer Guild branches collaborated. Under the command of a certain famous bracer, we launched a large-scale operation to round up and suppress every one of the cult's lodges. As for my small squad of 3, we were in charge of taking down a lodge located on the outskirts of Altair, located in western Calvard. It was there that Guy rescued Tio Plato, who was 8 years old at the time. Tio was emaciated and barely responsive, and she was one of the lucky ones. I thought everyone else was dead, so she was the only lucky one. After all, none of the other kids made it out alive. And even though what Tio had to go through was monstrous, there were even more horrific things happening to the kids at the other lodges. I guess other lodges might have had survivors, and he was referring to that in general. Why? Why are people like this allowed to exist? Because the hypothetical goddess isn't omnipotent. I feel like I'm going to be sick. Compared to the criminals we've dealt with here in Crossbell, these guys are a completely different level of twisted. Yeah. At any rate, after that operation 6 years ago, the cult was completely wiped off the map. Keyword being off of the map, they're hidden. All its zealots either committed suicide or suffered a psychotic breakdown and wasted away. Some have speculated that there were a few survivors, but rumor has it the church and the society exterminated the rest of them. Yeah, the society doesn't agree with them either. The nightmare known as the DG cult should have finally been over. But now, these blue pills have appeared. There's a chance these pills are the Gnosis the cult used in their rituals. Right now, that's just speculation on my part. But if this is the real deal, I'm afraid the nightmare of 6 years ago might have resurfaced in another form. One that will entangle itself with this conflict between these two mafias. Sounds like things couldn't get any worse. But if all this is true, we have to do something. I couldn't agree more. Lloyd, the one who killed your brother 3 years ago, is still at large. I know. No leads were found, and the case eventually went cold. Yeah, there weren't any witnesses either. After Guy transferred to the first, he'd only ever taken on cases by himself. It's been speculated that the culprit was an intelligence agent from Erebonia or Calvard, maybe a member of Ravash. Hell, some have tossed around the idea of a Jaeger Corps or terrorist cell being responsible. However, there's always been another possible culprit in my mind. A remnant of the cult, right? Yeah, I'd say that possibility is even more likely now. For me, this whole thing is starting to look more and more like a chance to avenge my fallen subordinate. So, sorry for my selfishness, but I'm going to be butting in from now on. Chief, there's no need to apologize. We'd love your help. You trying to tell me you didn't butt in before now? Ah, who can say? But anyway, I figure it's about time I told you. I might have founded a special support section, but the one who first came up with the idea was Guy. I mean, we've already had that hinted, like, twice. What? This was Guy's idea? What about the SSS being created to oppose the guild's popularity? That was just something I fed the top brass to get him to agree to it. While he was still alive, Guy told me something I'll never forget. He said that what Crossbell needs is the strength to overcome its barriers. A place where young people can make mistakes, learn, grow, and combine their strengths into one. Excuse me. He told me he thought that was exactly what the police force needed. Guy. Damn, that brother of yours sure was something, Lloyd. So, is that the reason Tio joined the SSS too? Ah. Could be. I'm willing to bet she wanted, more than anything, to be part of a group that carried on Guy's will. Not that she'd ever say as much to me. Wow. I had no idea. Well, setting Guy aside for now, I think our most urgent priority is stopping the damage these drugs are causing. And, regarding Kia, I think it's possible that what happened to her is related to the cult somehow. Ah. Pisses me off just thinking about it, but it does seem likely. After all that talk about drugs being the cause of her amnesia. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm beginning to think that as well. So, Chief, can you leave the investigation to us while you protect Kia here? Since we have to coordinate with the 1st Division, we'll need someone to stay behind and give us orders while we're in the field. Oh, that's true. Yeah, the way this case is shaping up, we're really going to need someone calling the shots from back at base. I'm sorry, Chief. I know you went out of your way to offer your help, but this is key to our success. I mean, that is helping. That right? Okay, fine. But listen up. Just like before, I won't be giving you guys any direct instructions. You can have all the advice you want. I'll even take care of comms for you. But you're going to make your own decisions and solve this case with your own will. So, are you up to the challenge? Yes, sir. Understood. Sounds like we're gonna have our work cut out for us starting tomorrow. Decent day. I'm stopping after this because that's a lot and my throat's starting to get sore. The next section feels like it will probably take a couple days because there's a bunch of like final points, like points of no return that look like they're there. I don't know the specifics because I'm not reading through it all, but I'm just like, this is a point of no return, final checks and reminders, like there's a bunch of stuff that we'll need to be worried about. So day 3 will probably take 2 goes. Are you sure you're okay, Tio? You can always wait here with the Chief and Kia if you don't feel well enough to go. There's no need to worry. I was able to get quite a bit of rest. I'm feeling much better than usual, actually. Well, you do look a lot better than you did yesterday, that's for sure. Still, I was pretty surprised when Kia told me she wanted to sleep next to you last night. I just felt... I just felt like I wanted to all of a sudden. Hey, Tio, did you sleep good? Of course. I can only imagine the reason I am in such pristine condition is because I spent so much time with you, Kia. Yay! You're a lifesaver, Kido. Indeed. It's as if she's our very own special pick-me-up. Oh, that reminds me. I want you to promise me this one thing, Tio. If something like yesterday happens again, please, tell us about it. Don't bottle it up. That'll only make it that much harder on yourself. I don't mean to be harsh, but if you were to collapse in the middle of a fight, we'd all be in trouble. Roger. I will keep that in mind. I'm a member of the Special Support Section, and I intend to stand on equal footing with the rest of you. So, thank you. I'm lucky to have people like you who I can share my pain and burdens with. Ah, Tio. Haha, don't mention it. Yeah, you can count on us. Huh? Heh. Sorry to step in and ruin this little moment of yours. You're planning to question some of the citizens suspected of drug use this morning, right? Yes, sir. I want to confirm what we found in the First Division's report, if possible. And since we'll be busy anyway, we hope to take care of support requests as they come our way. Indeed, if we let this opportunity slip away, we might not have any time left to venture outside of the city. As of now, we want to look into that stockbroker in the residential district, and that errand boy for the Saber Vipers, who I've talked to already. And finally, Arc-en-Ciel's new cast member. They were all acting a little strange yesterday, weren't they? If you have time, you should go check in with Ian, too. Out of the two he told us about, it looks like the stockbroker is the same one from the First Division's records. But it seems like they don't know anything about the trading company manager just yet. Thanks for the advice. We'll make it a priority to stop by there. Dr. Günther should be contacting us later with the drug composition reports, around noon, I think. Hello, this is Lloyd Banning of the Special Support Section. Lloyd? It's me, Bixen. Oh, hello, sir. This is good timing, actually. How's Gantz holding up? Been holding up. Yes, about that. He, seems to have disappeared again. What? Can you fill us in on the details? Of course. You see, Gantz finally woke up late last night, but he kept fading in and out of consciousness, so we decided to let him continue to sleep for a little time being. Just to be safe, I stayed with him overnight, thinking I'd report back to you today. When I awoke in the morning, Gantz was nowhere to be found. I see. Have you called the hotel or the casino? Yes, but I was told that no one has seen him for quite some time. Lloyd, what should we do? For now, I think it'd be best if you stayed at the hotel, sir. It's possible that Gantz might come back. We were already going out to gather some information, so we'll make sure to keep an eye on him. An eye out for him. If something comes up, please don't hesitate to give us another call. Well, alright, thank you. Did I hear that right? Gantz disappeared again? Yeah, apparently he snuck out of the hotel this morning. Either by his own accord, or... This is all the more reason to check on the other individuals who have used this drug as well. Man, I've got a bad feeling about this. The situation might be escalating faster than we anticipated. Don't worry about things here. Just go and see what you can find. Yes, sir. Have a good day! Woof. So I pick up new stuff, report old stuff. Report. Fran speaking. 3rd class, Strega P, which are boots.
お疲れ様でした。さすが皆さんです。
3rd class, good job, Lloyd. I'll make sure your bonus get transferred. So then new requests, Orbital Staff Enhancement, Guillaume Factory, and then 3 exterminations, and the Creative Cooks that I'm not doing yet. And that's where today stops. Actually, let's check the boots. Plus 50 defense, plus 8 movement. That is a lot of movement. I kind of want to put it on him, because he actually needs to be in melee range. So, that's the end for today. The next day seems like it has a lot going on. I don't know the specifics, but there's a bunch of stuff and there's a bunch of points of no return. So it will probably take a little bit longer to go through than day 2. I may be doing that tomorrow, or part of it tomorrow, or I might leave it for the Tuesday, Thursday next week. It will all be determined tomorrow. It'll all just sort of if I feel up for it. But that's the end for today. Goodbye. Have a good day. Bye.